better move on.
What is it sniffing at?
Oh, I just thought it smelt a bit musty, that's all. You know, with being in the wardrobe like you not wearing it very much.
Last time I wore that suit was Sam Russell's funeral, and you can't get sent to the cemetery.
Here. Time you had a new suit, any road. I mean, Methuselah had one like this to go to work in.
Know how much they are? 100 quid. I should want a hand-stitched gold thread for that.
Do you know, Stanley, I think you must be the only person in this country that hasn't heard of inflation. I'll bet you don't even know things cost more than a tanner in Woolies these days, do you?
I'll tell you what I think of inflation. It only affects prices. What I earn is never inflated.
Oh, well, that's not to do with inflation, Chuck. That's to do with exertion, and you don't believe in it. Any road. After today, you'll be able to afford a new suit, won't you? Perhaps even a couple.
You won't be told, will you? Build your hopes up until they come top-heavy and fall in a flipping fall.
Oh, no, I'm not expecting a fortune, Stan.
It'll be peanuts. Mrs. Entwistle and got 2 halfpennies to rub together.
Well, what does the solicitor want to see you for, then?
Probably pass the hat round for the funeral.
That's a very pessimistic attitude, Stanley.
Listen, nobody ever did that for me for nout, I'll tell you. That happened the day I was born. It was on my docket. Give this one nout. You'll see me when you see me.
Right. Good luck, Chuck.
What do you think, Mrs. O?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he's right to be pessimistic. I mean, the disappointments we've had. Although, on the other hand...
What?
This could be it, you know. The big win. It's not impossible. £500,000 for 10p on the pools. Bit of paper with the right number on it, you've won the Irish sweep. Oh, it happens to humbler folk than us. You see them on the telly, talking about buying new houses and new cars, all happy and smiling. And not only their faces, it's in their eyes and their voices.
Hilda, I think you're letting your imagination run riot a bit, if you don't mind me saying so.
Phew, you think that's running riot? You want to be inside my head when I'm sitting in the bath sometimes. Oh, I'm really riding in a golden coach then.
A yellow? One sherry. Tie. By the way, who's looking after the shop?
Nobody's looking after the shop.
Oh.
Oh, thank you.
Shouldn't there be somebody looking after the shop?
Yes?
But there isn't.
No.
Come on then, let's have it.
What?
Explanation for why nobody's looking after it.
Well, I just walked out, bet that's why. I closed the shop door and locked it behind me, and if I'm not there, there's nobody there, is there?
Oh, are you feeling a bit browned off, are you, love?
Just cracked bet mentally. My space has been tight all morning, and then it sort of spread up to my head till it went like a tight band. Well, then when Mrs. Bridges came in and accused me of selling her daughter a certain magazine, which I hadn't, because I'm very particular about that, but I only ever sell them to adults, and then only if they look normal.
Really?
Well, when she'd gone, I just put my coat on and walked out. I mean, I don't even remember how I got here.
Oh, well, that's novel, love, because a lot of folk what come in here don't remember how they get home. Well, you know what you want, don't you? You want some help. It's too much for you on your own.
I know that, Bet. I mean, getting up at the crack of dawn and working all day long. And then, you see, when I go to bed, I can't sleep in case I miss the alarm and don't get up to get tired all over again.
Tell Len.
Oh, tell Mr. Fairclough. I've told him umpteen times. Well, not lately, because I haven't seen him.
Well, if I were you, I'd do something about it yourself before you really crack up.
What do you mean, pack it in like on my notice?
No, take somebody on, hire somebody. God knows there's supposed to be enough about looking for jobs.
What, without Mr. Fairclough's permission?
Well, if he's mizzled, you can't get his permission, can you? And that's his fault.
Well, you can't go through life with a tight band round your head, can you?
It'll leave a red mark, love.
By gum, you look rough.
You don't need to tell me that.
Can I come in? Yes, of course, Elsie. Come right in. Where have you been? Out in the tiles all night?
Yeah, that's right. I've been whooping it up in Manchester. Very funny.
Yeah, you mean to Blackpool to see Rita, haven't you?
That's where you've been, isn't it?
I went to see her first thing this morning.
And?
Well, need you ask? Need you flipping ask?
This room's like a rotten morgue. Haven't you got an electric fire or something?
In the corner there.
Where? Oh. Well, where's the plug? There. That's a bit better. Well, what happened?
Nothing happened, that's what happened.
Oh, come on, Len, snap out of it. What happened?
She turned me down.
Did you tell her you wanted her back?
Yeah, she turned me down.
I see.
I didn't only tell her, I pleaded with her.
She really means it this time, doesn't she?
She means it.
I don't know what to say.
Well, there's nothing to say, is there? That's the end of it. Finished, kaput.
Familiar words.
Not for me.
I meant in my case.
What am I gonna do, Elsie? I love her.
I don't know, love.
There's nothing I can do, though, is there? I mean, there's nothing deader than dead love, and I've killed her stone dead.
Look, Len, you don't know. For all you know, she might be just as miserable as you are, sitting somewhere, just waiting for you.
No, it's finished with now.
I'll tell you one thing, you can't go. You can't go sitting in that chair for the rest of your life. Look, I've got to get back to work. I'll pop back about tea time. Do you want me to get you anything to eat?
No, thanks, no.
Len, look, I know it's no comfort to you at the moment, but you'll get over it. People do, you know. I did. I'll see you later.
Hello, Mrs. Walker. Been having 80 winks, have you?
I've been reading the paper, as a matter of fact, Bet.
Should make it nice and cheerful, then.
What has happened to truth, Fred?
Pardon?
I said, what has happened to truth? One can no longer get an accurate picture of anything anymore. People either deliberately misconceive things, or else they simply tell lies.
Truth never existed, Mrs. Walker.
Of course it did. Jesus told the truth, didn't he? Isn't it one of the cornerstones of Christianity? Thou shalt not bear false witness.
Yeah, but it's all relative, isn't it? I mean, take me and the Scuffers. Their truth about a certain incident is bound to be different than mine, because they're trying to nick me and I'm trying not to be nicked. Well, it's the same with everybody. Same with bosses and unions, government and us. I mean, you see, truth is just what happens to butter your particular parsnips.
Aye, heck, Eddie, aren't you educated?
In the best school of all, darling, the school of life.
It hasn't done him much good, though, has it?
Precisely. If you will forgive me saying so, Mr. Yates, you are talking rubbish. Truth is what is true. Like, you're a man and I am a woman. Now, the decline of standards and the rise of the Philistine in my lifetime has been nothing short of disgraceful.
I wish you wouldn't get her going like that, Yates. We've got to live with her all flipping day, you know.
Yeah, but she's right, though, isn't she? Even I can see we're a rotten lot nowadays, and I'm one of your Philistines.
10's a pound. Thank you very much,
Right.
Mrs. Tatler.
I'll give you a fiver.
Did you? Are you sure?
Definitely I did.
Oh, you did. You're right. I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Tatler. It's with me being on my own. I've been rushed off my feet.
No, I'll tell you what it is, should I? I've yet to go into a shop that would give me change for a fiver instead of for a pound note.
Nasty, that. Well, you can't blame her for being angry, though. I know how I feel when it happens to me. I mean, you can never be absolutely sure it was a genuine mistake.
Yeah, but we were with you, and she comes in shop often enough to know you're dead honest.
Well, thank you very much for that, Louise. Now, where were we?
They're all sorted.
Oh, that was quick.
I don't hang about. Don't believe in it.
I've noticed that. You always finish your paper out in half the time it takes everybody else.
I only won the Victor Durham in my last but 1 year at school.
Oh, what happened in the last year, then?
Started to worry about all the muscles I was developing, didn't I? Lads don't like muscles on women.
Well, does it matter what a lad's like at your age?
You kidding? I'll say it does.
Were you good at your lessons, too?
Not bad. Could have been better if I worked harder, though. Do you know what my favourite subject was? Woodwork.
You're a bit of a tomboy, aren't you?
I am not. Very feminine. But I wish I'd been born a boy all the same. They still have a lot more fun than us girls.
Yes. I've always thought that. Any news of a job?
No, not a thing. It's beginning to get me down, actually. I hate hanging about the house. And my mum keeps trying to find odd jobs for me to do. You know, our windows are the cleanest in the entire world, never mind in our street.
Louise?
Yeah?
How would you like to work here?
I already do.
No, I mean full-time behind the counter with me.
Be a shop assistant.
Yes, you would like me.
Not exactly what I had in mind. I was thinking more along the lines of sailing round the world like Claire Francis did. But seeing as nobody's offered me that, and you've offered me this, I'll have to ask me mum.
Oh, yes, you must do that.
She'll tell me to take it, no danger. She can't wait to get her hands on my wage packet. See ya.
Bye.
Hello.
What?
I'm back.
You mean... for good?
For good. I must be bloody mad.
Stand not back yet, then.
Does it look like it?
I wonder where he's got to.
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? He'd be kettled somewhere, throwing his money about like it's going out of fashion. Oh, I should have had more sense. I should have gone with him.
Yeah, so should I now.
Why, what's he got to do with you?
Well, I mean, I used to do the round with him, didn't I? And this Mrs.
Entwistle.
Yeah, well, when she heard the whistling outside the window, I mean, it could have been me sometimes, couldn't it?
So?
Well, it makes me entitled, doesn't it? Not a beneficiary as such, like, but entitled all the same.
So what?
A cut.
On your bike, Eddie. The mood I'm in at the moment, I'm likely to stick you between two slices of this loaf and make a butty out of
Now,
you.
that's violence, Mrs. O.
I know, so if you've got any sense...
All right, I'm going, but I'm very hurt. Very hurt.
Well, you'll be able to compare notes with Stan, then. Because he's going to be very hurt and all.
When I walked away from you on that prom, I were absolutely definite that this was it. I was never going to see you again, except perhaps in divorce court. I kept telling myself, well, it's painful now, but it's for the best. It hasn't worked, so it's best to get shut. Instead of keep lingering on, being unhappy. It's for the best. Both of us.
I was never unhappy.
Oh, let me finish, Len, please. I must have said it 100 times. It's for the best. It's for the best, Rita. And I walked a lot and all. God knows what people thought that saw me. Because as well as talking to myself, I were crying. Tears streaming down my face. And then I suddenly stopped dead in my track. I don't know why. And I turned round. And I couldn't see you. Even if you were still standing where I left you, it was too far away. And I panicked. Talk about going cold all over. I went cold right to my bones. I thought, what am I doing? That's my husband. That's the closest person in the world to me, and I'm walking away from him forever.
You're the closest person in the world to me.
Yeah, well, there was something else, Lynn. Something else made me panic.
What?
I just couldn't see any future for myself. Not on my own at my age.
Me too.
Yeah, but what worried made me stop and turn? Wanting you. A fear of a lonely future.
A bit of both, I suppose.
And you would settle for that, would you? I don't want you to be under any illusions. I want to be absolutely fair to you.
I don't believe it, you know.
You don't believe what?
I don't believe that you just came back to me out of fear. You're too independent. That's part of your trouble.
Perhaps I should never have got married in first place. To anybody.
Yes, you should. You married me. And I've never regretted it.
Liar.
Well, in temper.
Perhaps that's the difference between us. I did it in cold blood.
No, women are made different. They expect a lot more from marriage.
Anyway, I'm home now.
Yeah. Thank you.
You really mean that, don't you?
If ever you go away again, it won't be through anything I've done, I promise you that.
Can I come and sit on your knee?
Come on.
Hello. I asked my mum, and she agrees like I said she would. When can I start?
Oh, good tomorrow if you like.
Great. About money, my mum says you have to ring up the employment exchange and get the proper rate from the agent now.
Well, I think we can do a bit better than that. Better than the official rate, I mean.
Well, that's up to you. I won't say no.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
There was just one other thing. I suppose I'm not a paper girl anymore, am I?
No, you're a full-time shop assistant now.
So I really ought to be paid up as a paper girl, didn't I?
Oh, like now, you mean?
Right. I'm owed £1.40 according to my reckoning.
£1.40,
It's not that I'm desperate for it. It's just this lad's taking me to see the alien tonight. From what I've heard about him, I'd rather have paid for myself, if you know what I mean.
Well, no, I don't.
Well, I won't owe him nothing, will I? If he turns out to be a div. See you tomorrow. And thanks. I'm dead chuffed about the job.
And where do you think you've been?
You know what I've been, solicitors.
That would at dinner time.
Well, not all afternoon, haven't I?
Ooh, tell us another.
Have I been drinking?
Well, it's hard to tell with you. I mean, a beer barrel doesn't stop smelling of ale when it's empty. So I'll ask you again. Where have you been?
I went to the solicitor. He was in court. He got back at 4:30, and I'm sitting in the waiting room until my bum went numb.
Oh. Oh, well, I wasn't to know that, was I? So what's the gen, then? What did he have to say to you?
Not much.
What do you mean, not much?
Well, he said I'd better be under the will, like, you know. Then he asked for identification, and I showed him my driving licence. Then he gave me a cheque.
A cheque?
Oh. This cheque.
Hey, it's for £100.
That's right.
Oh, £100.
Won't go far these days, though, when we paid all our bills.
No, that's true. But we're not going to pay them, are we?
Aren't we?
No, we're not. We're going to splash out, Stan. Cut a bit of a dash. And here, we'll not tell anybody just how much it is. Let them think it's more, especially Eddie Yates.
Does that mean I can have double whiskies instead of pints?
No, Chuck. It means I'll go on port and lemons instead of light ales.
That was left to me, you know.
Ah, but what is it keeps you so happy and cheerful? Being married to me.
She left something else and all.
What?
I left it in the hall.
Well, what is it?
An animal.
What sort of an animal? Well, by the heck. Now I've got a pair.
Where's the Gazette?
Madame's not released it yet. She'll be poring over the deaths columns and feeling smug.
Well, it's about time she released it then.
Hi, what's wrong with you two?
Nothing that a pint in a pot and lemon wouldn't cure.
Are you happy and contented by any chance?
Very.
Spoil sport.
Evening.
Hiya, mate.
I'm not going to ask.
There's no need to. Go on, tell him, Stan.
We've had a windfall.
I'm very pleased for you.
I'd buy you a pint, but I see you got one.
It does happen, you know.
Oh, well, it's early doors yet.
Congratulations, Mr. Ogden.
Nice one, Stanley.
Congratulations, what for?
In the Gazette, Mr. Ogden's bequest, £100.
And a pot dog.
A lousy £100.
Well, you wouldn't turn your nose up at it.
True.
What intrigues me, Stan, she left you that money for being so cheerful, is that right?
Right.
And that's all?
Well, why else would she leave it him? An old woman like that.
Well, she's not always been an old woman, Hilda. Dora Entwistle used to be to Chapel Yard. What Elsie Tanner is to this street. That right, Stanley?
Is it?
I don't know.
Come and sit down. I want a word with you.
Thanks very much.
Are you getting the drinks tonight, Stan?
No, I'm not.
Well, that looks a bit more like how I remember it.
Aye, it's amazing how a place can turn into a tip in no time at all, isn't it?
Especially when you live in it.
Oh, well, I can get better, can't I?
Len.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to change out of all recognition. You can't.
No, but I can improve.
Yeah, and so can I. I've been a bit of a bitch myself.
Yeah, but you're lovely when you're mad.
Oh, God.
Who the hell?
Mrs. Tanner?
Yeah?
Dan Johnson.
Am I supposed to know you?
I thought young Ian might have mentioned me name.
Ian, Ian? Oh, you mean young Ian McAllister?
That's him.
No. Well, he didn't mention your name.
Oh, still, don't suppose you asked for a reference, do you?
Would you mind telling me what it is you want?
Diggs, love.
Diggs?
Lodgings.
Well, this isn't a lodging house.
Oh, young Ian said he stayed here, recommended it, in fact. 5-star, he said.
Yeah, well, that was a one-off. I mean, I just helped him out. He'd nowhere to stay.
Neither have I, love.
Oh, you must be kidding.
I haven't. Not at this time. There won't be a bed left anywhere. Now I'd have to kip him in cab.
Oh, you're a lorry driver.
Only been on the road 20 years.
I've never seen you in a cafe.
Well, you haven't been open that long, have you? But word's getting round. Good nosh at fair prices at gyms. Not to mention a friendly welcome.
Have you, tried the hotels?
Hotels? I can't afford hotels.
Yeah, must be-
No, it's either here or the cab.
Are you sure you know young McAllister?
No, we're great mates. You know, I can't understand why he never mentioned me. He certainly mentioned you. In very flattering terms, I might add. Cold out tonight, isn't it?
You better come in, then.
So,
Mind you, I'm not promising anything. This isn't a boarding house. I see you've come prepared.
just my pyjamas and a clean pair of socks.
Straight down the lobby. I must be out of my tiny mind.
Why?
I spend half my life doing bacon, beans and bangers at that cafe. And here I am in my own home doing it for a stranger.
Well, I was a stranger last night, but since then I've become a lodger. That's very different.
Is just one snag to that. This is not a lodging house.
Not according to young Ian.
I told you, young Ian got it wrong.
Well, I don't know. Not from where I'm sitting.
You know something? You're a bit fly, Dan Johnson, if you don't mind me saying so.
Fly? Me? I'm as straight as the M1. I'm the perfect lodger. I don't snore, I'm clean in my habits, I don't burn holes in the sheets. And I'm great company.
And you don't half love yourself and all, don't you?
I could go and have a cup of tea, love.
I've told you, and I'll tell you again for the last time, this is not a lodging house, and I am no...
That's a great bed you got up there, you know, love. I slept like a baby.
Oh, were you warm enough?
Oh, it's a bow.
Yeah, I put an extra blanket on. I don't care what people say, it's much colder here than it is in London. Whereabouts in London do you come from?
Oh, Wandsworth now. A flat. You know, it's that small that you stretch out in bed, you kick the cat off the window ledge.
How does, Mrs. Johnson manage?
Ah, there isn't one. Not anymore. Yeah, she got fed up with being married to a guy she only saw once a fortnight. Well, it's a job, isn't it? I'm either belting up a motorway or getting my head down in some tatty dig.
Oh, thanks a bundle.
Ah, this is an exception. I reckon I struck lucky here.
Just for once.
I was bringing you breakfast up in bed.
Oh, you were bringing me breakfast in bed?
Well, that was the general idea till he came barging through the door like a tank.
Oh, I'm sorry, love, I really am.
Hey, what's this?
It's just a thought.
Well, it's a beautiful thought, thank you. Trust me.
I'd better get the dustpan.
You never brought me breakfast in bed before.
I never managed it this time either, did I?
Well, it's the thought that counts. Anyway, it was my fault. Hey, that toast doesn't look bad.
Yeah, well, that's the second lot. The first lot's out there feeding the sparrows.
And you've had a shave and all, haven't you?
Yeah, and I did it in the bathroom, not down here.
Nice and smooth.
Hey, you wouldn't like to go back to bed, would you?
No, I'm up now, love. You get off to work. I'll clear this lot up.
Rita.
What?
Can I say how glad I am that you're back? That big double bed, you know, didn't have to get cold without you.
Come on. Get off to work.
Yeah.
So long then, Elsie. Thanks for everything. Sure I've given you enough?
Oh, yeah, sure enough to cover my expenses.
Well, I'll be seeing you again.
Yes, you're welcome anytime at the cafe.
Morning, Elsie.
Morning, Bet.
Morning.
Morning.
He had nowhere to go, so I put him up for the night.
Well, I hope he enjoyed his breakfast.
Marvellous.
Well, at least he's nearer your age than the last one, yeah? Ta-ta.
Friend of yours?
Oh, she has her off days. Well, I'll be seeing you.
Could be sooner than you think.
£100 is a lot of money, Stanley. Not a fortune, but a lot of money. So what I want to know is, why did she leave it to you?
Because I was so happy cleaning the windows. Whistling and that, you know. Though what I got to be happy about, I don't know.
You said this Mrs. Entwistle were an old widow woman. Now, Bet Lynch reckons she were a bit of a star, a fancy piece.
Not when I knew her.
Somewhat else funny, you know.
What?
Well, I don't think you can whistle. I've never heard you.
Of course I can whistle.
Go on then, whistle us somewhat.
I'm reading my paper.
How about Rule Britannia?
I can't whistle to order like that, can I?
You can't whistle at all, can you? So why don't you come straight out and admit it? So what have you been up to with this woman that she leaves you money?
You've got a suspicious mind. If you don't belt up, you'll get knocked on that cheque, not a plus farthing.
Want a bet?
That'll do you no good.
Well, it will when I take it to a bank.
It can save your bus fare. That cheque is made out in my name, and they won't cash it for anybody else but me. And that's a fact.
Spearmint flavour?
Yeah, little green packet.
I know the colour of the packet. Have you looked in the thingy?
Yeah, there's only peppermint and tutti frutti, and I don't fancy them. I don't actually fancy spearmints, only I haven't got the price of a packet of fags.
Well, if there aren't any there, that means we've sold out.
Sold out? Of chewing gum? And you've got the nerve to call this a shop that sells toffees?
Look, it's not a crime, you know, to sell out of chewing gum. Do you realise I've been running this place on my own now for weeks? Well, it seems like a lifetime, and if the only thing I've done wrong is to run out of chewing gum, well, I don't think I've done too badly.
All right, I take it all back. I've gone off spearmint, I'll have tutti frutti here.
All right, thank you. I see. Can you see anything wrong with my right eye?
No, just looks like the left one. Well, not exactly the same, but almost.
Can't you see a little nerve twitching?
No.
Oh, well, I can feel it twitching. It started in the night.
I thought your troubles would be over with Rita being back.
Oh, well, I can...
What?
Morning.
Oh, morning, Louise.
Hello, Mr. Yates.
What are you doing here?
Starting work here, aren't I? Got a job at last.
I see your problem. Both my eyes would be twitching if I had that problem. Good luck.
You got a problem then?
No, it's nothing.
I'm not late, am I?
No.
Brought me record player.
Yes, so I
Because
see.
it struck me, if we had a record going in the background, it might shift some of them back there. Boost sales, like, you know.
It's a good idea.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't this great? Better than umping newspapers with blue fingers at the crack of dawn. Magic. What shall I do first?
Well,
There is something wrong, isn't there?
well, yes, there is. You see, Mrs. Fairclough's come back unexpectedly.
So?
Well, I mean, if she comes back to work here as well...
I get the push.
Well, yes, there is a possibility.
Suppose there is.
Oh, look, I am sorry to have to tell you this on your first day.
It's not your fault. I don't know what my mam'll say, though. She's already spent my first wage packet on our Robert. He's my little brother. Still, let's look on the bright side, should we?
What bright side?
It hasn't happened yet.
Mrs. Tanner, am I glad I've caught you?
Oh, yeah?
Now, you must tell me if you think that I'm not minding my own business. But a little bird has told me that you have been providing casual overnight accommodation for, what are they like to be called? Knights of the road?
You mean lorry drivers?
Is it true?
Well, I have helped one or two of them out, yeah.
Playing the Good Samaritan?
Well, you could put it that way, I suppose.
Do you know, I said that was all it was. I said at the time, I said Mrs. Tanner would no more think of opening a boarding house for lorry drivers than she would fly to the moon, because she would be the first to realise how quickly the tone of a neighbourhood could be lowered.
Boarding house for lorry drivers? You know, that's a very good idea, Mrs. Walker. I'll have to think about it, won't I? Cheers.
Oh, hey, did you get it?
What?
The money.
No,
Why not?
they wouldn't give it me.
Who wouldn't?
At the bank.
Well, I have to give it you. That's what banks are for.
No.
Hey. I didn't come down in the last shower, you know. You've been out and spent it, haven't you?
I haven't.
You have. You've gone out and blued the lot.
Look, there's a cheque to prove it.
Oh. Well, there's nothing wrong with this, you know. I mean, it's signed and everything. And you spelt your name right. Here, Fred, there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
Not as I can see.
My tongue's hanging out.
Hey, what did I tell you? He's gone and let them at the bank tell him it's no good.
Oh, you can't cash it though. See, it's crossed.
They said that at the bank it was cost.
You have to pay it into an account, like, you know.
They said that too.
Well, what happens when we haven't got an account? We're supposed to paper the wall with it.
Well, have a word with Mrs. Walker. She might cash it for you.
Shall I try?
No, I'll do it. Mrs. Walker?
Yes, Miss Adams.
Could you spare me a minute? It's about this cheque.
Oh, yes.
Well, it's crossed, you see, and we haven't got a bank account. Well, not at the moment, like. So we was wondering if you could possibly see your way to cashing it for us.
How much is it for?
£100. It stands inheritance, you see.
It is rather a large amount. And it has been my lifelong policy never to change cheques for customers. However, in your case, don't suppose you'll be making a habit of it, so perhaps I could make an exception.
Oh,
wait
thank you.
here.
How you doing?
She's doing it as a personal favour to me.
Are you going to whistle us something, Stan, like you did for your chapel yard lady friend?
Come on, Stan. Give us a burst.
All right, I will.
All right, Chuck, that's enough. He's a very good whistler, actually, but he's got a bit of a tight chest at the moment, so he hasn't got the puff, have you, Stan?
By heck, Stan, that door end whistle must have been flipping tone deaf.
Oh, very grateful.
You said this one I couldn't whistle. What are you after?
Well, you can't, can you? You sound like a canary with a cold. But there's times when you have to close ranks, Stanley, and that were one of them.
Mr. Ogden.
Oh, we're here.
I said Mr. Ogden, dear. The cheque is made out to him. Now, Mr. Ogden, if you would sign there. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm afraid it's all in fivers. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, what are you doing there?
Thinking.
What about?
No special.
Hey, do you fancy a jar?
Don't think so, thanks. Not today.
You can't go putting it off forever, you know.
What?
Facing that lot of the Rovers. You've got to do it sooner or later.
Who said I were putting it off?
Well, have you?
Never entered my head. All right, then I'll prove it. I'll put a face on and go there now.
Shall I come with you?
Don't think so, thanks. I think I'd rather sort that lot out on my own.
Spoiled sport.
Thanks very much, Mrs. Walker, for the money, you know.
That's all right.
I thought we were going.
What's your noise? Hello, Rita.
Hello, Hilda.
You got back then, have you?
Looks like it.
Welcome home, dear. It's nice to see you safely back in the fold.
With all the other sheep.
I mean it.
Of course you do, Mrs. Walker, and thank you. And now, if that's all the formalities completed, perhaps I could have a drink.
What's it to be, Rita?
Well, it's a sort of reunion, isn't it? I'll go mad. Brandy.
Dry ginger?
Please.
Been away on holiday, have you?
Well, let's say I felt like a bit of a change, Hilda.
Yeah, well, we all feel like that sometimes, don't we? Pity Len couldn't have gone with you, though, isn't it? I mean, it's not half so much fun when you're on your own. Still, he's been too busy, I dare say.
Elder, I'm waiting.
All right. So now then.
Child.
Hey, hello. All right, that's on me.
Thank you. You're a gentleman.
Don't tell everybody, it'll spoil my image.
Cheers.
Cheers, love. Nice to see you back.
Well?
Well, she has she first.
Are you stopping now you're back?
Ah,
And Len?
he seems happy enough, if that's what you mean.
Ah, you're back for good then.
Well, we'll give it another go, yes.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers. Mind you, it won't be the same like it was before. How do you mean, kid? This time we're playing my rules.
Oh, has Len settled for that?
I don't think it's quite sunk in yet.
Oh, it's not going to be easy.
Do you think it was before?
The best of British, kid.
Me too.
Oh, you're not still counting them notes, are you?
Oh, you put me off again.
I can tell you how many there are. There's 20. And they'll all be there because nobody but you's been near them.
Ah, it's a nice feeling, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't want to spoil your fun, Chuck, but when's the big share out?
What?
Well, when do I get my half? We agreed last night we'd split it.
If Mrs. Entwhistle wanted you to have some of that money, you'd have got it in the first place, wouldn't you? So you can whistle for it.
Don't you mention whistling to me.
You can have the hot dog. That's yours, yeah?
Half, Stanley.
No.
Right, then, keep your rotten money. But you've only yourself to blame if I do a Rita Littlewood and walk out on you.
Do that, you have a flipping lot.
Because there's something you ought to remember, you know, Stan.
What?
Behind every happy man, there's the love of a good woman.
Hey?
I'm your backup team, Stanley. It's entirely thanks to me that you can go off on your round like you do, all smiling and whistling. Without me, you'd be miserable as sin.
You must be joking.
Want to put it to the test?
You're trying it on, aren't you? Are you?
Am I?
Oh, well, look, there you are. That's yours, yeah? Now, give me a bit of peace, will you?
10 quid? 10 measly quid?
Well, there. That's my last offer. Definite.
Thank you, Mrs. Entwistle, whatever you are.
Hey, Stan, do you fancy a drink?
Now get lost.
Please yourself. Hello, Hilda. What's all this, then?
Pennies from heaven. My share of the money what Stan's inherited.
Oh, he's finally stumped up then, has he?
Yeah, that's why he's looking so happy.
What are you going to do with it?
Well, I'll tell you. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to forget my friends.
Oh, aye.
Now, you remember when I was saving up to go to Charlieville? You gave me a fiver, didn't you?
Well?
Yeah. Well, I haven't forgotten that. You was kind to me then, so now I can return the favour.
Oh, great. Only I am a bit pushed, you know.
There you are.
Thanks, Hilda. 2 quid.
You're welcome.
Outside the court where the trial was held, the men, nicknamed the Shrewsbury Three, became martyrs in the eyes of the trade union movement. Our reporter then was Tony Wilson.
One of the most significant...
Let's see, that's 36 and a half. Hello.
What are you doing up there?
I'm measuring. What do you think I'm doing?
Measuring? What for?
Well, I thought we could do with some new curtain rails.
We could do with some new curtains.
All right then, my darling. For you, anything. New curtains. Now, let's see, where was I? 36 and a half. 4 inches either side to cover the windows. That's 44 and a half. Call it 45.
How long you been doing that?
Oh, half an hour.
Half a minute. And this cushion's still warm, Fairclough. You're a liar. Where are you?
Well, nobody's perfect, are we? Give me another 5 minutes, I would have been there, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, God's honour. Kiss. How'd he get on, the Rovers?
Oh, I got a bit of a grilling from our Elsie and Bet Lynch, but nought I can't handle. Other than that, the message seemed to be welcome home, Rita.
Well, it'll be stale news by the end of the week, won't it? Why don't you take the rest of the week off? By the time we get back to the cabin... then
I'm
we'll
not going back to the cabin, Len.
Eh?
I said I'm not going back to the cabin.
What do you mean?
Well, it's simple enough.
You mean you're not going back there at all? You're not pulling me leg, are you? Well, when did you decide this? Have you thought about this? I mean, you'll have no wage coming in, you know. It'll be a drop in our standard of living.
What standard of living? It couldn't drop much lower than this.
What are you going to do?
Well, stay at home. Maybe look after me fella. Maybe get out a bit more. You were measuring for curtains.
All right, yeah.
Well, I told you this morning I might be coming back.
You've got a flaming cheek, you have.
Well, was I in trouble last night? Was I? I stopped you last night, didn't I?
Last night was a favour. I can't seem to make it sink in.
Oh, come on, Elsie. What have you got to lose?
My reputation.
Yeah, but that's all about the creek already,
Now,
isn't it?
look, you, it's one thing
Yeah,
for a
ask me what
fella to
this
stay
is. Go
one
on.
night, but to keep coming...
It's a present for you.
I can't make it sink in. I'm wasting my breath. Did it fall off a lorry?
Who's counting?
I am.
If it makes you feel any better, it's bought and paid for, straight up.
Oh, I don't.
I know this geezer in the trade. I got it for peanuts. Go on, open it. Like it?
It's lovely. I can't go accepting things.
I want you to have it. Take it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'll take this up then, shall I?
Dan, just for one night only.
Okay. Take you out for a drink later on?
No, thank you.
Why not?
Well, because... Well, I'm washing my hair and watching television. And besides, you haven't read the rules of the house. Landladies don't go out with their lodgers.
We'll have to change them then, won't we?
Will the bother coming in tomorrow or what?
I really don't know.
She hasn't shown up, has she, Mrs. Fairclough? So she can't be that interested in coming back.
Well, that's true, but knowing Rita...
It's a bit unsettling, not knowing exactly where you are, whether you've got a job or you haven't.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Look, would you just like to call it a day? I'll pay you up to the end of the week. I mean, it's the least I can do.
Perhaps I should.
Oh, I am sorry, Louise. I think we could have got on really well. I mean, you even sold 2 LPs.
My terrific sales technique.
Absolutely.
Evening.
Hello, Rita.
Hello, Louise. What are you doing here at this time?
Was working. Today was my first day and my last.
How come? Now, don't tell me. Mavis has been making life difficult for you.
Oh, it's not been like that at all, Rita. And we won't need a new assistant now you're back.
But I'm not coming back here, love. I've retired. So the job's still yours, young lady, if you want it.
Honestly?
Honest. I'm not coming back. No intention.
Geronimo! Thanks, Mrs. Fairclough. Ta-ra, Mavis. See you in the morning.
Bye. Just left a record player.
Still be there in the morning.
Oh, yes, I suppose it will. Are you really not coming back?
No.
Any particular reason?
Shall I turn the sign round? It's gone 6:30.
I'll do it, since you've retired.
No, Mavis, I've had my fill of it. Like a lot of things round here. I think it's time I don't know, spread my wings.
Well, you're not thinking of leaving the district altogether?
Why not? World doesn't end at Inkerman Street. I think it's time me and Len got out, made a fresh start.
Well, if it's what you want.
It's what I want.
And Mr. Fairclough?
I'll cross that when I come to it.
I'll miss you.
Mavis, don't start blubbering.
Penny for him, Stan.
I was thinking about Dora Edmiston, as a matter of fact.
God bless her.
Ah, she's a dear old soul. I don't suppose I spoke more than 2 words to her. She used to leave her money on the window ledge, you know. Well, a funny bunch now at Chapel Yard.
She must have appreciated you, though. I mean, you're 100 quid better off, aren't you?
80.
Oh, yeah, Hilda.
She no right to that, you know. You had more right to it than her.
Do you know that's a fact, that, Stan? I mean, I did do the round with you, didn't I?
Aye, for a time.
Yeah, for a time, like.
Aye, well, I think... Here. That's your share.
That's very big-hearted of you, Stan. Thanks.
Now, whose turn is it? Yours. I'll have a large whiskey.
A pint and a large whiskey, please, Bet.
Heyo. Look who the wind's blowing in.
Where do you fancy?
Oh, here'll do me fine.
Right. What'll it be then?
Well, will it run to a gin and tonic?
I'm the last of the big spenders.
All right, it's my turn next time.
I never argue with women.
Within a minute, Squire.
Don't go bursting a blood vessel, Fred. I'll attend to the gentleman. Yes, sir.
Pint of best bitter, please, and a gin and tonic.
Ice and lemon. She likes ice and lemon with it.
Ice and lemon it is then. And what's your name, darling? We seem to be seeing a lot of each other.
Don't we? Bet Lynch. Surprised to see you back again quite so soon. Wonder what's brought you back this time.
Would you believe a 10-ton diesel?
Witty with it.
Gin and tonic, pal.
So.
Who's that?
Elsie's latest lodger, Mrs. Walker.
Come back for seconds, has he?
Fred, there will be quite enough of that.
Looks a bit of a wild boy to me.
Yeah, lovely with it.
I've cased the joint, and you're definitely the best-looking woman in the place.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Cheers.
I want it to go like clockwork. Start as we mean to go on. Now, we've all experienced cafes and the like where they're supposed to serve food, but where, in fact, they serve anything but, and very slowly at that. Now, do I make myself clear? Elizabeth?
Oh, yes, Mrs. Walker.
Fred?
Clear as a bell.
Fred?
Yeah?
Good. That is all, then. To your stations, as they say in the best restaurants, and I will work miracles in the kitchen.
While I work miracles in the kitchen, all she'll do is throw half a dozen packet soups into a pan of boiling water.
She reckons it's going to be homemade.
I'll believe that when I see it.
It's going to cause a heck of a lot more work, is this lot, I'll tell you.
Exactly, Fred. So it's a branch meeting, innit?
Definitely.
Well, what's it about then?
You think this is a pub, don't you, Hilda?
It is a pub.
A little grotty backstreet alehouse.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, it's the French restaurant at the Midland.
You are taking a notice of her, Hilda. Mrs. Walker's decided to extend the food menu, that's all.
We're into soups now, and sandwiches. And some at foreign before long, I shouldn't wonder.
We're having a meeting about it, Hilda.
Well, have one then.
You're in a different union.
You're not even in a union.
What's that got to do with it? Go and polish that chain or something. Go on.
I might just have been able to help, that's all. I've had a lot of experience with unions across at the factory. In fact, I once caused a strike.
You mean somebody mistook you for a match and tried to light a fag with you?
I'll tell you some of that, Lynch. Spill a drop of hot soup down that top you're wearing, your knickers will start smouldering. That's if you're wearing any.
Does anybody on a Mondays? They're all in the wash. Right, what we're going to do?
I think she's taken a dead liberty myself.
And the rest.
It's only a drop of soup we've got to serve.
It is not in our contract of service, Betty.
We haven't got one.
Not in it then, is it?
Extra work means extra money in my book.
Would you for a rise next week anyway?
Hey, you're right there.
20%. That's the going rate this year, and that's just for layabouts.
Hey, we've got a bargaining point, haven't we? Extra productivity, see?
Good thinking, Fred.
Thank you.
So you can be our spokesman, right, Betty?
Spokesperson, love.
Sorry. What's wrong, Fred?
Nothing's wrong. If you want me to represent you, I'll represent you. I'm not scared of Annie Walker.
Why have you gone white, then?
Come on, Elsie, I'm waiting for him. And where's my teas?
Oh, I've only got one flaming pair of hands.
It's not your hands to blame. It's your mind.
You what?
Well, it's far away. Halfway down the M6, anyway. Dan racing north into your arms today, is he?
I have not got a map stuck on the wall with little pins all over it telling me where he is.
Oh, well, I reckon he is. And I reckon you know he is. And what's more, I reckon you're dead glad he is.
Your bread.
Thank you. Keep your hands to yourself, Fangio.
Recognise the expert touch, don't you, darling?
Yes?
And what are you doing tonight?
Yes?
That's got to be a record, even for me.
You're a...
Knockout, that's the word you're looking for.
What do you want?
There you go again.
To eat.
I think I'll have a change today. I'm fed up with chips and bangers. I'll have bangers and chips instead.
One sausage and chips.
One sausage and chips coming up.
Here, you still living with the old man?
I were this morning.
Could get him a job, you know, on an oil rig.
He'd miss me.
Yeah, but you wouldn't miss him, I'll guarantee.
Wanna bet? Well, he don't give up easy, I'll say that for him.
Brilliant.
Him over there, they call him Fangio.
Not bad looking either.
He's not as good looking as Brian.
I don't know.
Well, I'm not man-mad like you. One sausage and chips?
You can't keep away from me, can you, darling? Don't fight it, it's got to be fate.
Is that right?
I found what I was looking for, love. I'm off.
Have you got a minute?
Yeah, as long as it is a minute.
Oh, well, it don't matter if you're pushed.
Well, I'm not that pushed.
Well, I thought, just a thought, mind you, if you could take a couple of hours off this afternoon, we could
We could what?
go and look at some houses.
What houses?
For sale houses, or houses for sale, whichever you prefer.
Do we know any?
I do.
Where?
Oh, not far. Just off the East Lancs Road.
Not far, that's foreign parts.
Oh, well, if that's your attitude.
Yeah, no, all right. What time?
Well, straight after dinner.
I thought you said a couple of hours.
Yes, but I think it'd be safer if we said 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, see you.
See ya.
So it smells good, Mrs. Walker. Minestrone, dear. Pardon? Soup. Minestrone soup. That's what you can smell. I've been making it for lunch.
Oh. Minestrone? I always thought that were a volcano in Italy.
No, dear, that is stromboli.
Oh, fancy. Oh, you learn something new every day, don't you? Mrs. Walker?
Yes, dear?
Well, I was wondering, with you extending the facilities here, like, you'll have a lot more on your plate, won't you? Lot more on your plate, that's a good one, isn't it? Yes, well, I was thinking that if you should require extra assistance in the kitchen, well, I could manage, say, from 12 till 2, at a mutually satisfactory rate of pay, of course. And that'd be more than cleaning, wouldn't it? Because cooking's like skilled work, isn't it? Mrs. Walker?
Tell me something, dear.
Yeah?
You don't by any chance think that ravioli is an Italian monument, do you?
Spanish monument?
Thank you, Mrs. Ogden. Now, if you don't mind, I am really very busy.
I'd be glad of my help before you finish with this lot. I don't know why I go on working here. All I ever get's insults.
What's up with you now, Hilda?
Being made to feel about that big by Lady Muck in there. Well, I tell you, I'm fed up with it. I'm flaming fed up.
Come in. Yes, Fred.
First things first, Mrs. Walker. Thought you might like to see this. It's a menu, my idea. Save having to tell folk what's on for lunch. I thought we could maybe just put 1 or 2 on the bar and 1 or 2 on the tables, like.
But it isn't a menu, Fred.
Oh, it is, Mrs. Walker.
No, it is something that says pub grub.
Well, it's the same thing. It's just a new way.
No, well, let's stick to the old way, shall we, Fred? Just one simple word menu. Oh, and while we're on the subject, minestrone, it is not spelt with an I in the middle and a Y at the end. Not even in darkest Lancashire. E's, Fred. Both E's.
Yes,
now,
Mr. Walker.
Was there something else?
No, I'll get this all. Oh, yes, there was something else. Could I have 1 cheese on brown bread, please?
And who has the good sense to order brown bread? Kenneth Barlow, I imagine.
No, Eddie Yates, actually.
Really? You know, I would have thought that his impression was that brown bread would be bread that had been around rather a long time. I'll call you when it's prepared.
Yes, Mr. Walker.
Come on, before you go.
No, had enough of this place for one day. And if you'd any sense, you'd stop spending half your life in here and all. She only laughs at us behind us backs, you know. Oh, I thinks we're right comics.
What's got into her?
She's had one of them mornings, Stanley, when everything's been conspiring against her. Everybody has them, although your Hilda has more than most. Excuse me. That were quick. Have you got us a rice?
I never asked her, did I?
Why not? You got cold feet, didn't you? I said you would.
The moment was not appropriate.
Hey, what's wrong with it?
Well, I got all this wrong, didn't I? She doesn't like pub grub and I've spelt minestrone wrong.
You think that's your trouble?
Go on, you spell minestrone, go on.
Stop changing the subject.
Hilda's got a point, you know, Stan. What would we do if we stopped supping here?
Sup somewhere else?
Yeah, but it's not easy, is it?
Flying horse, Legion.
Yeah, but you're conditioned to coming here by years and years of habit. You go down the Flying Horse, you'd end up shaking and crying in the corner. Isn't that right, lad? I mean, he'd be the same.
I'm not going to stop coming in here. No, me neither.
I'm just warning you the consequences, that's all.
1 cheese on brown.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Walker.
Didn't you hear me calling?
No, Mrs. Walker.
Well, try to listen a little harder in future.
Yes, Mrs. Walker. There, Scouse, that's your sarnie.
Bread's a bit thin, isn't it, Fred? She hasn't exactly gone mad with the cheese, neither.
Well, don't get on to me. Get on to her that made it. Shall I go and get it for you?
Oh, no, I'm not complaining. I'm just commenting, that's all.
Sir.
Well, hello, stranger.
Hi.
How are you, love?
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, how's Blanche?
Oh, she nagged me to death as usual, but you expect that with me mother. Can I have a bag of crisps, please, Bet? Do you know that was the first thing our Tracy asked for when she got in? She reckons they taste different down there.
Everything does south of Manchester, love. It's a very funny world with some very funny folk.
Well, you really look well.
You say that as if I've been ill.
Well, you know what I mean.
Not really. Try,
love. That were a bit heavy-handed, if you don't mind my saying so, Betty, love.
What are you talking about?
Well, you might as well have just said it straight out.
What?
You're looking very well, Deirdre, considering it's not all that long since you were given the old Evo back in Barlow.
She was obviously very cut up about it. Well, according to Emily.
So why go dropping heavy hints, reminding her of the pain?
Which is something you never do.
Never. Subject's closed as far as I'm concerned.
Oh.
Hi, kid. He's there.
Oh, I can see him.
Why not order a quick vodka before he can refuse you?
No, I'm not stopping. I don't want to drink, love. Len, dinner's ready.
Be with you in a minute.
Change man, would you say?
I wouldn't say that. Pliant, more receptive. I mean, like this afternoon, we're going looking at houses. Who for? For us, Betty, love, for us.
I'm fit if you are, my sweetheart. Ta-ra, love.
New houses, eh? She'll never get him to shift from round here. Never in a million years.
Just depends how much of a shaking up he got when she left him. I reckon his teeth rattled. She could get him to move to Accrington now if she really tried hard enough.
Well, it shouldn't be far now.
I should flipping hope so. Do you know how far we've come? Only 10 flaming miles.
One at Cabin Paper Lads runs that every night for fun.
Ah, no, but he only lives in the next street.
I don't think your heart's in this.
I'm keeping an open mind. How much is this one, anyway, this house?
Well, it doesn't say exactly.
Eh?
It just says it's in the 25 to 30,000 bracket.
You what? Watch out!
Hey, Stan, what's so interesting about me eating a bowl of soup?
That's Italian, you know, minestrone.
Yeah, I know it.
I never touched Thai food since the war.
Oh? Why?
No good. Did our chaps more harm than the Panther divisions put together, and that's a fact.
I'll risk it.
Well, I'm just warning you.
Oh, thanks.
Well, it's all been quite successful for the first day.
Yes, I've been getting some very good reports about that soup.
My dear, it'll taste like nectar to some of these people round here. Food of that quality, they're just not accustomed to it. To tell you the truth, I feel rather like a missionary.
Is that right?
There's still some left, but if you don't mind, I would like to put my feet up for 5 minutes. I feel rather exhausted.
Yeah.
You know what'll happen, don't you?
What?
I'll give it a couple of days, be you in there doing the cooking.
Why me?
Well, she'll not trust me to do it, will she? She thinks I only use me cooker for drying my tights in.
Well, you do, don't you?
Yes. Yes, Kenneth.
Hello, what's all this then?
We're moving into the 80s, didn't you know? Everything you need to support life can now be got on these premises, and I do mean everything. You only ever need to leave them to sleep. Mind you, Stan's been doing that for years, right, Stan?
That's not wrong. I don't regret a minute of it.
Is the soup homemade?
What a question. It's the most homemade soup that's ever been homemade, right, Elizabeth?
Oh, absolutely.
Right, well, I'll have a bowl then, and a lager too, please.
Fred, one soup for Ken.
You get it.
She's having a break. It's a good time to raise the you-know-what. Get going. Deirdre's back. Still, I suppose you knew.
No, I didn't as much back.
Oh, she was in here earlier, looking absolutely marvellous. I've never seen her looking so well. Like she's got a new lease of life, you know.
Good. I think I'll just take the weight off my legs.
Well, talk about me mixing it.
Well, he deserves it. He's treated Deirdre rotten. And that's not allowed anymore.
You've got about as much chance of doing that as I have touching my toes.
Or even seeing them.
Hey, don't be cheeky.
Ivy, did you manage it this time?
She's in there cracking on. She's asleep. I nearly poured this flaming soup all over her. Where's Ken?
Over there.
Sorry.
I wouldn't mind another bowl of this soup, Fred.
Sorry, mate. This is all that's left.
Are you sure?
You cracking on, I'm lying.
No.
Glad to hear it.
Tell you what, when he does manage to talk to her, he's going to be feeling very bolshy.
Seems to work these days.
Just what I was thinking.
See you later.
Try, cock.
Try, lovey.
He'll not come now.
Oh, for God's sake, just because he doesn't pop in one lunchtime, he's probably had to work over.
They could have run. Do you think the novelty's beginning to wear off?
Off what?
Being married to me.
Oh, for crying out loud. You don't see him for all of 8 hours and suddenly you're in the divorce courts. I bet you weren't worrying about Brian when you were flirting with, what's his name, Fangs?
Well, how do I know he hasn't had his dinner with another girl?
Because you do.
He's very good looking, you know. A lot of girls fancy him.
You're not so ugly yourself.
What's all this, then? The staff eating? I thought the governor threw you a bone at the end of the week.
Yeah, well, he would if you could get away with it. This is a funny time for you to be landing.
Oh, just call him to say I'm here.
She glad.
And to check as well.
Check?
That I'm all right for Dix.
Oh, I'm surprised at you asking.
Well, usually it's just a formality. Am I?
Well, I haven't changed the sheets. Yes, I suppose you are.
See you later, then. About 7. I've got to drop a load off in Manchester. Oh, and don't go to a lot of trouble. You know, like slippers warming, meal in the oven.
On your bike.
It's a Pantechnica this week, darling. Ta-da.
Well, it's new, I'll say that. Instead of a knight and a white charger, yours arrives at a Pantechnica.
You're only jealous.
You should have come and had a look.
You can get locked up for peeping in other people's houses, you know.
There's nobody in. Ain't look lovely inside.
So it should for that money.
Well, I think it's a bargain compared with them other two we saw. Hey, doesn't it look lovely? I mean, can you imagine in the summer when them trees are out and that garden's...
Hey, tell you what I'll do. I'll dig up the backyard for you, plant a few lupins.
You don't think I'm serious, do you?
I do think you're serious. Any more on that list?
Just one. It's a bungalow.
I still think our house would be better done up, better than this lot anyway. I'm going to be cheaper and easier to run.
We don't know, do we, till we compare. And that's just what we're doing now.
Yes. Do you know, Fred, I think I can say quite definitely that we did very well financially at lunchtime.
Oh, how much did we make then?
Really, Fred? The day I'm obliged to disclose the contents of my purse to my staff is the day I hand over to Mr. Murray and his friends.
Only, it does have a bearing, you see, Mrs. Walker.
On what?
Well, Betty and myself, we were thinking that, like, for the extra work, we should have extra recompense.
Well, of course you will. You didn't think you weren't going to share in the profits, did you?
Oh, it's just that you hadn't mentioned it, you see.
Productivity, Fred. That is the answer. Our leader's favourite word, and how right she is. In any case, we're shortly going to be time to review the salaries, isn't it?
Oh, yes, that's right. Aye.
And they shall be reviewed. Now, was there anything else? Anything strike you at lunchtime? Anything we could do to improve our performance and our mutual interests?
Yes, Mrs. Walker, as a matter of fact, there is.
Right, let's have it.
Well, it occurs to me, Mrs. Walker, that there's a lot of time being wasted. Like, well, in this respect, the kitchen, that's you. Now, when you get an order, you come through there and you take the order, they come through and get it, and, well, what I thought was, you could have a little button in here, connect it to a bell or a buzzer in there, and then when you're ready, press it, we come through, collect the grub, Bob's your uncle, and you can get on with whatever.
Brilliant, Fred. Absolutely brilliant. Now, doesn't that show you what we can do if we all pull together in the same direction? Will you take care of it for me?
Of course I will, Mrs. Walker.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker.
Do you know, I thought 79 was a pretty savage year for me, but this year's turning out to be even worse.
I know what you mean, love. But isn't it like this for everybody?
I'm not interested in everybody. I'm only interested in me.
Well, you've got a lot to go at, I'll say that.
Negotiations successfully completed.
You are? Just like that? I don't believe it.
We're getting a bonus for the extra graft, and we're also getting an annual rise.
How much?
What?
Bonus and rise, how much?
Well, she's not exactly said yet. Like, give her a chance.
What exactly did she say, Fred?
Well, she said that she'd review our salaries.
That could mean anything. She could review them either up or down.
Well, she'll not do that.
What about the bonus?
Well, that depends on productivity, see?
She has promised you nothing, Fred. Do you know that? Absolutely nothing. You're about as much use as a chocolate teapot.
Can we have some service here, please?
I thought I did very well myself.
Well, you might be right. I mean, we'll just have to see, Fred.
A pint and a light bottle.
Don't be put off by the amount of me pot, Stan. I can soon shift that.
Suit yourself.
What, and you with all that money and me with nothing but fluff in me pocket? You know, I didn't know you had a mean streak. I didn't really.
Look, if we keep spending Stan's inheritance on the likes of you, Eddie Yates, we'll soon have none left, won't we?
And what about the pleasure of buying drinks for friends?
Well, I don't find it all that pleasurable, actually. Neither does Stan. Any road. After paying a few bills, we've not all that much left, any road.
I thought you weren't coming in here again, Hilda.
Well, where else is there for us to go? I mean, if I had the choice between here and the Café de Paris, I wouldn't even deign to walk past this door. As it is, well, this is us, isn't it? Forever.
You're right, Hilda. We're prisoners of our own environment.
I wish you'd shut up.
I can see nothing wrong with the environment.
Hey, I'm jiggered. You know, this house hunting lark is worse than working.
Well, personally, I've enjoyed it. Seeing how the other half live.
I know what you're thinking.
I'm thinking what I've always thought. I like it here.
Oh, Len.
Oh, I admit, it could do with one or two improvements.
Want it too?
Well, 3 or 4 then.
Len, property is an investment. It's the best place to have your money. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, but not all of it. You got to keep a bit back for beer money.
Don't worry, we will.
Oh, well, it sounds as if we haven't finished with this house hunting lark.
Love it. We've only just started.
Is Galen here, Elsie?
Well, if she isn't, it's a stuffed dummy sitting here.
Aye.
What do you want?
Well, you weren't in Calf and you're not on the dome, so, guess you'd be here.
You weren't all that interested in me whereabouts this dinner time.
Well, I had to go on for something, so I popped in Rover's instead.
Not that I missed you. Not with Fangio to chat me up.
So you've been sniffing around again?
It's good fun and very nice. Ask Elsie.
I think you're encouraging yourself.
Of course I do. Hello, Dan.
Hello.
Just cooking your supper. It's only undercooked.
I'm told I'm on steak.
Oh, just a few pieces I didn't manage to eat myself.
I'm not complaining.
I see you've got your travelling bag with you.
Never without it.
Bet you could tell a few stories, that, eh?
A few.
We better go and get washed. Your tea will be ready in 5 minutes. I hope you like mushrooms.
Love 'em. I've got something to tell you. I've had a stroke of luck.
Oh, come up on the pools, have you?
That'll be the day. Now, I'm losing oil. The lorry is. It's got to go into dock for a couple of days.
So?
So I'll be around for a couple of days and all.
Well, can't you go back to London?
I could. But is it worth it? I ask myself when I could stay here.
Who says you could?
Can I? I mean, 1 night, 2 nights. What's the difference? Look, I'll clean the place up for you while you're at work. I'll have your tea ready for you. Now, you couldn't get a better offer than that, could you?
It's just that I've...
What?
Oh, go and have your wash.
You're a very sensible woman, Elsie. You know that?
Hey, you! Whatever your name is, grub's up.
Never mind what's your name. How many fellas do you usually cook breakfast for?
Oh, dozens on a good week.
I believe you. Thousands wouldn't.
Oh, yeah? What makes you think you're the only one, big head?
Well, it's not a club, that I do know. You're not that type of woman.
Oh?
Well, you're not a butterfly, love. You may be a bit of a flirt, but at heart, you're a one-man woman.
Oh, am I? And what makes you such an authority on that?
Because at heart, love, I'm a one-woman man. And like they say, it takes one to know one.
And what are you going to do today?
Are you being sarky?
No, why?
Oh, I thought you'd been reading them books. How to have a happy marriage. Show an interest in her daily routine. Ask her about herself.
Oh, them books. How to make a tired husband frisky. Welcome him home after a hard day's work wearing nothing but a filly apron and a gallon of scent.
If we had a house with central heating, I might consider the possibility if we had a house with central heating.
Bribery will get you everywhere.
Can I rely on that?
Hey, I tell you what I'll do. I'll buy you the Philly apron.
Ah, well, I had something a little more constructive in mind.
Well, I'm not going to ask you what it is. Not this time of the morning.
Don't worry, I shall keep you in the picture.
Oh, well, sounds like you got something in mind, have you?
Well, of course. One thing you can say about life with Rita, it's never boring, is it, love?
Well, no, but I wouldn't mind trying it once in a while. Could be peaceful.
Once I get you and I organised, you can have all the peace you can handle. That I promise you.
Here, Debbie Harry. Do you want to stretch your stuff?
I think it's talking to you, love.
You what? I said, you want to boogie a little, babe?
Another one who thinks he's the Fonz. No, thanks. I don't do cabaret.
Oh, I thought we could kind of, like, get our act together, you know what I mean? Like, let it all hang loose.
Chuck, I don't know what it is in space talk for no, but round here we just say no.
Okay, that's cool, lady.
What is it? I don't know, but whatever it is, it doesn't half fancy
No,
yourself.
I mean this. What's happened?
Oh, well, shall we say our fairy godmother waved her magic wand and the humble little tea shoppy was suddenly turned into the glorious Chippy.
Now, that's another thing. You cooking the chips?
I cook a very nifty chip, I do.
I don't know. I turn me back for 5 minutes and the whole world stands on its head.
No, only the chips, love, not me.
It happened weeks ago we got took over. How long is it since you've been here?
Oh, ages. Long before I went to my mum's. I mean, I had heard a buzz that something had happened, but I've no idea.
I quite like it.
I don't. But us jobbers over 21s can't be too choosy, can we?
Taking a notice. She took to it like a duck to water. Once I twisted her arm a bit. And she's got herself a fancy.
Don't listen to her, don't listen to her.
Hey, I'm drinking it all in. It's fascinating.
Have you seen Ken?
No. Do you still do ordinary boring things like cups of tea and rounds of toast?
Yes, but it's very thick toast, love. We've got some very hungry customers round here.
I can see that.
Hey, when did you get back?
Yesterday. Oh, and if you're going to tell me you've turned the yard into a Swedish sauna and massage parlour while I've been away, let me have my tea first.
Well, I haven't, but it's a very good idea.
You are moving house then, aren't you, then?
Yeah?
Well, yes, that's the way it's looking at the moment.
Oh, fantastic. Where to?
Well, we don't know. You better ask Rita about that. She's the expert in that department. Can I have a cup of tea, please,
Yeah,
though?
sure.
I've really come in here to rest my lug-holes. I'm putting a new cupboard in the cabin. I can't stand more than 45 minutes of maybe yakking. Oh, bless your cotton socks, love. Thank you.
Hey, are they moving? Seriously?
Well, shall we put it this way? According to Rita, they are.
You know what's going to happen, don't you? Once you've got this thing fixed, you'll have us trotting backwards and forwards like flipping yo-yos.
Give over, Betty, will you? The whole idea is to save us legs. Now she's doing more variety on the dinner menu, she'll ring through less journeys.
All right. I suppose that's the only time she's going to use it.
Oh, give it a chance, will you?
Look, it's obvious what's going to happen, Fred. Once she gets a finger on that bell push, she'll be drunk with power.
You sound just like Bet Lynch, you do.
Working here for a few years, some of my original innocence may have worn off a little bit.
Betty?
What?
It's all right. Mrs. Walker said I could come through.
Hello, Rita, love. Hey, I like your new coat.
Well, it's only about 5 years old, but it's more than my husband's ever said.
Oh.
Betty, come here.
Yes, love.
Am I wrong or what? But did I hear you say you went to visit a niece recently on a new housing estate at Hanforth?
Yeah, Margaret. It's Cyril's sister's girl.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
mind you. I mean, he's got a very good job in computers, you know. They're ever so comfortable.
Yes, but was it nice? Did you like it?
Well, they had only just moved in, but what I could see, oh, it was lovely.
Oh, yeah.
Ever so nice and bright inside. Beautiful kitchen, you know, fully equipped, everything beautiful. And they even got a stone fireplace in the living room. Fully centrally heated as well. Why, you're not thinking of going out there, are you?
Well, it's not the other side of the moon, is it?
No.
No, actually, there was one for sale in last night's paper.
Ah, well, they were very well built. That I do remember Victor saying.
I shouldn't do that, love. It's a blooming long way, you know. Hey, take my advice, Flower. Stop in your own middin.
I've changed my mind about him. He sounds just like me husband. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra, love.
I wouldn't mind moving. What? Me and Stan. To a nice little flat somewhere. All mad cans.
We all have our pipe dreams.
Yeah. Of course, with some of us, they stay just dreams. But she'll get what she wants, no danger. Oh, she'll make sure of that. Who? Rita Fairclough. Oh, she knows how to get him dancing to her tune, all right.
Do you think so? You know, I have my doubts.
Oh, no. No, women like her and Elsie Tanner. They always make sure they get what they want out of life.
I wouldn't say that Mrs. Tanner had exactly what she wanted out of life.
Oh, well, that's her fault, isn't it? I mean, she's had her chances, plenty of them. She just mucks it up in the end, that's all. Never satisfied, you see. No sooner got one fella and she's after the next. Grass is always greener.
Whereas you've always stuck to the same one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a one-man woman, me. Couldn't be out else. Do you know, with all his faults, I can't imagine being married to anybody else but Stan. We're like two halves of a pair of scissors, him and me.
I know just what you mean. My Jack and I were just the same.
And now she's off with her latest, eh? At her age. And shameless with it. Ooh, you'd think it was time she'd give up, wouldn't you?
I don't think that Mrs. Tanner will ever concede that it's time to give up.
No. She wants to follow your example, Mrs. Walker.
Really?
Yeah. She wants to face up to facts and grow all graceful, like you've done.
Right, ready when you are, darling.
OK.
How many have you got for us to see today?
Oh, only one.
Oh, good. We should be back by 1 o'clock. I can have a few drinks before I get off to Tattersalls.
Oh, I doubt it, love. Take us half an hour to get there.
Why? Where is it?
Handforth.
Handforth? That's out by the flipping airport.
It's in that direction, yeah.
Oh, too well with that. I'm not going all the way out there to look at a place I know naught about.
Ah, but I do know something about it. Betty's niece lives in one. It's on a new housing estate in Handforth, and they're very well built. They're very well planned, a bright living room with a stone fireplace, a fully fitted kitchen, central heated, patio doors onto the garden.
Oh, God, you sound like an estate agent.
Yes, but would you buy a second-hand house off me?
Come on, get in the van. At least it'll be a ride out.
Are we having our dinner here or at home, Duchess?
Well, I'm having mine at home. I don't know where you're having yours.
Oh, you
What do you reckon, Stan? Mug of soup in here?
You paying?
I am not.
Well, you suggested it.
I can suggest holiday in Acapulco. Doesn't mean I'm going to pay, does it?
Penny Road. We don't do it in mugs. We're more refined in this establishment. It comes in bowls.
What's so refined about bowls? Dogs eat out of bowls and so do cats.
You don't give up, do you? Talk about argumentative. If I say black, you'll say white.
If you say yes, I won't say no.
Stanley, sup up and come on home. I'll make you soup if you want it. You're not paying no inflatable prices for packet rubbish, what they're serving here.
I say, any other country she'd be locked up. I'm saying, Stanley, it's a good job your Hilda lives in a country where they allow free speech.
Yeah.
Not giving the wife the benefit of your custom today, then?
Nah, I don't like going in there too often. Right, what have you got?
You mean apart from me?
Come on, let's have a look. There's not much difference, is there?
What do you expect, roast sucking pig?
Well, Mrs. Walker said you were going in for proper food at dinner times now.
It is proper food, you cheeky.
I know, but it's not cooked though, is it? You know, not like you have at the cafe.
I don't want to stand stinking of chips all day, even if Elsie Tanner doesn't mind. Get to cafe if that's what you want.
Nah, I'll have a minestrone and a pie, please.
Oh, minestrone. All your efforts weren't in vain, Fred Face.
I'm going through. 1 minestrone, 2 green peas.
What's up with you, Any Road? You don't exactly look the picture of newly wedded bliss.
Hey, do you get chatted up much in this job, then?
If I'm lucky.
Come on, I'm serious.
I am serious. It's best part of the job.
So you reckon all blokes think girls that wait on them are a fair game?
Take me round the corner slowly here, Pet. It's not me or my job you're asking about, is it?
They're always at it in that cafe, you know, on a gale.
I can imagine. Does she mind?
Well, she doesn't seem to. She just laughs it off, mostly.
They're a randy lot down there. Best thing she can do is laugh. And Chuck, it's best thing you can do and all.
Even the air smells different.
You know how much it cost me in petrol coming here?
Mrs. Lambert?
Yes?
Mrs. Fairclough? I phoned.
Oh, aren't I an idiot? Of course. Only Tim's had to go up to Dundee and I had to drop Emma off at the dentist. And then I had to go and see the shipping people about Singapore. I was supposed to do that yesterday.
Is that where you're going?
For a couple of years. Have you been to the Far East?
No.
Oh, well, do come in. I'm afraid it's all a bit of a madhouse at the moment, but you get the general idea.
How long have you lived here?
Oh, just over a year. I love this part of the world. I should be sorry to go.
Come on, dear.
Double chips for a friend of the management?
We all have double chips round here. They don't know there's meaning of small portions.
No point in being well in, then.
Well, it's better than being on my blacklist, isn't it?
Have you got one? Go on, you've got one.
And they're better men than you are, Gunga Din. Here, go and sit down. You're not supposed to be behind the counter. You get me shot. Staff only.
Not even if I bought the head cook and bottle washer a little Cressy?
Not now, later.
You wear these black tights in front of a firing squad, darling, there won't be a man with enough strength left to pull the trigger. And how about you? What size do you take, sweetheart?
How much?
To you? Cheap.
Oh, come on, not now, later.
Why do I always fall for bossy women?
He really fancies you, doesn't he?
Ah, it's just his line of patter, that's all.
Not with him. I think he really reckons you.
Just shows you how much you've got to learn, madam.
And that's my all-time favourite girl, then?
You know, I don't know why we women bother buying French perfume. It's the pong of frying chips that turns fellas on.
Right. It's all true what they say about a way to a man's heart. Mind you, if you really want to know the way to mine, then there's one or two other little tips I can give you as well.
We ought to get danger money working in it, yes.
Yeah, but what a way to go.
All right, pal. On your bike, eh?
Brian, he's only joking.
Well, I'm sorry if I've not got much sense of humour. Only I don't find it funny the bloke's chatting at me wife.
Call it, eh? Nobody's chatting her up.
What are you doing then? Telling her the latest football scores?
Brian, look, love, it's just the way they go on. They don't mean anything, that's all. Now, you go and sit down with you. I'll see that you get your dinner afterwards. Now, Brian, stop getting upset about things that don't mean anything. Do you hear me?
Just to where they're going, he says. And I'm supposed to like it.
Well, don't come in, love, if you don't like it.
Thanks very much.
Sit down, Brian. I'll get you something to eat.
No, thanks. I've had my dinner. I only came in to say hello.
Oh, no.
Oh, take no notice of him, you come round soon enough. There's nothing worse in this world than a jealous fella.
He's got nothing to be jealous of, Elsie. You know that.
Well, it's time he learned then, isn't it? Here, take these over there to that fella. Go on.
Have you forgotten me?
No, I haven't forgotten you. Wish I flaming well could.
Well, it's a nice little garden, isn't it? It could be, only Tim never has the time to do it, and I'm hopeless. Are you a keen gardener, Mr. Fairclough?
No, I wouldn't say so, no.
Most of them are around here. They put you to shame if you're not out every Sunday with your lawnmower. That's something I won't have to worry about in Singapore. But generally, they're a friendly lot round here. Oh, varied, you know. You can get dragged into the Sunday morning drink stews if you're not careful, but we're not keen on that. There are quite a few golf fanatics. You play golf, Mr. Fairclough?
No, I don't.
No, Tim's not mad about it either. Squash is his thing. They say the local club is quite good. And, of course, the mums all help out with the milk run. That's a blessing.
Milk run?
Rota, taking the little monsters to school.
Oh, well, we haven't got any children.
Day like today, I envy you. Emma can be foul when she's even slightly off. Would you like another look round?
Oh,
No,
yes,
I don't think
thank
that'll
you
be
very
necessary.
much.
Sunday morning drinks dues.
Forget the flipping bell for a minute. Hasn't she said out about you-know-what?
Look, I mentioned an all-round rise, and she said she'd think about it.
Well, how long does she want to think about it? 6 months?
Well, she's thinking we're losing money. You'll have to ask her again.
Why me?
Because you're a spokesman.
Yeah, you're the big, strong fellow who's got to protect us helpless little females and look after our interests.
Oh, you two, you're about as helpless as a flipping barracuda. All right, I'll jog a memory, given the right opportunity.
Excuse me, brothers, do you mind me interrupting the union meeting so I can get a bevy, or is that against your policy?
I'll get it. And lager for me too, please, Fred.
Hello.
So, how's life treating you then?
Well, mustn't grumble, you know. No, why mustn't I? It's lousy.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Why?
Well, for the start, I haven't got a red XJS, and I haven't got a Porsche.
Well, what would you want with a fast sports car, anyway?
Listen, if I had one of them, I'd get my own number plate on, EY1, I'd have a nice stereo in and a tape and that, then I could start pulling the birds.
But what pleasure is in that, knowing they're just after you for your car?
I don't give a monkey's what they're after me for. If only they'd be after me.
Hey, what's happened to that Lonnie that you were doing a spot of courting with? She was a nice little girl.
Yeah, she was. Her dad got made redundant. He's just got a job down in Sutton Coldfield, and the whole family have just moved down there.
Oh, what a shame.
Well, we still write to each other, but it's not the same thing. She said she's going to get a flat up here, but I can't see it happening. Some big hairy geezer will steam into her down there, and that'll be that. Still, that's life, innit, Squire?
I don't know. I mean, you don't want to give up quite so easily, you know.
More to life than that. You want to...
Hi.
Hi. Can I get you a drink?
Oh, I'll just have a bit of lemon, thanks. I've got a pile of ironing at home this afternoon. I don't want to be falling asleep over it.
A bit of lemon, please, Betty, and I'll have another lager.
Yeah.
Too.
I'll bring it over if you want to sit at a table.
Oh, good idea, yeah.
She means well.
So, how's your mother?
Oh, she's fine. She looks years younger. I think the air down there must suit her summers.
And Tracy?
Oh, it's a good job we didn't stay there any longer. Honestly, she got spoiled rotten. Not just me mum either, all of them. She lapped it up like a little princess.
Yeah. And you?
Oh, I had a great time. I didn't get spoiled rotten, of course. Then I'm a bit past that. But, well, it was a change, you know, and I met some interesting people.
Oh, good.
Friends of my mum's, you know, they were very hospitable.
And why not?
There we are.
Oh, thanks, Betty.
Okay, thanks.
So, what's been happening here, apart from Dawson's tea shop being turned into a den of vice?
Hardly.
I heard Emily's version, of course, when she walked out, but I thought that was just her exaggerating.
Well, don't you approve of the changes?
Yes, I do. I popped in today and I thought it was great. I like anywhere lively.
Well, Elsie certainly seems to be having the time of her life.
Good luck to her.
Well?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh, it's a lovely house. Well, it's just like Betty said. Well designed, bright, all mod cons. But not for you, eh?
Look, if you want it, I'll make them an offer.
Do you mean that? Honest?
Yeah. If it'll make you happy.
It's not just the house, though, is it? It's where it is.
Well, it is a hell of a long way out. I did warn you.
Yeah. Could be on another planet, couldn't it? Compared with where we live.
I bet the local pub isn't as good as the Rovers and all.
Look, you've got that appointment at Tattersall, so let's push off.
So what do you want to do then?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Come on. Let's just go home.
I'm glad you came.
Well, let's walk you on.
You're me husband. You sound more like me boyfriend.
Well, I'm both. Hey, Gail. I'm sorry about dinner time. I made a right fool of myself.
It's all right. I'm sorry you got upset. But Elsie's right, you know. It's just the way they go on in here. There's nothing to be jealous of.
I know that.
I love you.
Hey, I reckon I should be quite chuffed by rights. All these fellas fancy me wife.
Then don't fancy me.
And why not? Well, I do anyway. Come on.
Night, Mrs. Prentice. Night, Dean.
Good night.
Come here, I'll tell you. Oh, look at them. Practically.
Would snogging be the word you're looking for, Hilda?
Disgusting at their age. Oh, give over, Hilda. There's no bar on folks being happy at any age. I mean, the world doesn't belong to the young, you know. You know, to see some of the newspapers and magazines of today, you'd think it did.
Good for you, Betty, you tell her. I hope I'm still at it when I'm her age. Mind you, that's not for another 15 years yet.
They certainly seem well suited, though, don't they?
If I could get a job at that cafe.
You don't fancy him, do you?
Well, let's put it this way, Chuck. I certainly won't kick him out of bed on a cold night.
Oh, flaming heck. I get heart attack every time that thing goes.
What is it?
Well, you've heard of the lutein bell, haven't you? This is the Walker bell. They both bring messages of doom.
Oh, stop your yattering. How you going?
No, I am not going. You're the electronic genius what installed it. Get on your little bionic legs and see what Her Majesty requires.
All right, I'll go this once, but listen. We're having a different system in here. Different system. 1 bell for you, 2 for you, and 3 bells for me, right?
Right, boss. Oh, and while you're in there, remind her about our rice.
Oh.
Well, we better drink up if we're going. We've got a nice little chicken roasting in the oven.
I'll leave it. I'll take it for a curry.
Oh, no, it's all prepared by now. Perhaps tomorrow, eh?
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I can't tomorrow. I'm in Bristol. That reminds me, Mrs. Poppy Thorne.
And who, may I ask, is Mrs. Poppy Thorne?
Oh, she gives me a bed when I'm in that area.
Oh.
Before you start thinking things, she's over 15 stone, well over 16. She's only got 1 tooth in her head. But she does do a very good B&B. I'll just go and give her a buzz, make sure she keeps the bed for me. Won't be a minute, love. And then it's homeward bound, all right?
Come in.
Oh, you rang, Mrs. Walker.
Good, Fred, yes.
Well, was there something?
I wanted to see if the bell worked.
Well, yes, I mean, that's why I'm here. By the way, about the bell, Mrs. Walker, we've organised a different system to avoid confusion. It's going to be 1 bell for Betty, 2 for Bet, and 3 for me.
Such a good idea.
Now, Mrs. Walker, about that rise, then.
I think perhaps you'd better get back to the bar, Fred. I don't want to bother you for a moment longer than I have to.
Oh, very thoughtful of you, Mrs. Walker.
I try to be, Fred. I try to be. Excuse me, lovey.
Hey, he seems a nice bloke. Yes, he is, isn't he? Come on, he's more than that. Oh, Betty, I can't get involved in my age. Been hurt too many times before. He's nice, he's good for a laugh, he's good company, and that's all. You say so. This is true. I can't afford to get involved, love. You know, I've been broken up and glued together so many times, I feel if it happened again, well, there'd be naught left to mend. Oh, don't be like that. Look on the bright side. You're happy enough with him, aren't you? Well, yes, I suppose I am. Well, then, make the most of it, lovey. Stop fretting about tomorrow.
Right then, Angel. I'll see you about 7. Now, don't worry about that. I'll bring a bottle with me. You just be waiting that little sexy black number with the slits up to the armpits. I'll see you tomorrow, then. I can hardly wait.
Hey, do you want this or don't you?
Hey, oh, now you mention it, no, I don't.
Should have put a note out.
I did.
Blown away.
Kids with sticky flaming hands. One of these days I'll swing for 'em, I swear it.
Hey, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
You are?
Well, it obviously weren't me you were expecting.
If you mean what I think you mean, this place stopped looking like a second-hand clothes store the day that you and Susie Birchall moved out.
We weren't that bad.
Oh, no, of course you weren't. I think if she came back now, she wouldn't know it was the same place. And I'm sure she thought you had to have a licence to use one of these.
This wouldn't have anything to do with a certain motorway cowboy, would it? Dan Johnson due into Daisy.
Proper little Sherlock Holmes, aren't you?
Well, it's just that the Elsie Tanner I grew to know and love never looked like this at 8:10 in the morning. In fact, I don't think 8:10 existed in her book.
Cheeky monkey.
Doesn't it worry you, him being a driver?
Well, it's not a capital offence, you know.
No, and I mean not knowing where he is half the time.
Oh, come on. I'm not a lovesick kid. I don't have to know every time he blows his nose.
No, but if you think about it, you don't know a lot about him, do you? He's just another driver who comes into the cafe.
I know a lot more than you think I do. He's a fella, isn't he?
Is that all right?
Yeah, well, he can take it from me. He's my kind of fella. We get a few laughs together. And you must admit, I didn't have many of them until he came on the scene.
True.
Well, now we've finished the lecture on good homes and you've got all you want to know about me love life, don't you think we'd better be moving? Come on, let's get to that cafe. Move!
Like to teach the world to sing.
Come in, Mrs. Walker.
I'll have my morning coffee now, please, Miss Lynch. No sugar, and don't forget to put the milk in last.
You'll get morning coffee, all right, Hilda. All over your flaming head if you pull that one again.
Oh, well, you got to admit it's a bit of a giggle.
Have I?
Hey, anybody else in yet?
Yeah, Fred is.
Fred. Now, it's 3 rings for him, isn't it?
I wouldn't do that if I was you, Hilda. Not if you want to stop on speaking terms with the rest of your body. I don't think you'll find he shares your sense of humour. Not like me.
Would somebody mind telling me what's going on in here?
Nothing, Mrs. Walker.
And since when have I paid you for doing nothing, Mrs. Ogden?
I never said a word.
And why are you in that chair? Are you feeling ill or something?
I was moving it, wasn't I?
I should have thought there were more efficient ways of moving it than sitting in it. Now, you haven't forgotten, have you, that I want you to give the spare room a good going over. And the bed in the spare room wants making up.
No, I've not forgotten.
And I do mean a good going over. I don't want Mrs. Taylor Brown to have any cause for complaint while she's under my roof.
Mrs. Taylor Brown, is that who you're going to do with tomorrow?
It's a ladies' evening, actually, dear.
I didn't know she was stopping here.
Bet. It is one of the true delights of life to share your home with a warm and trusted friend whenever it is possible. Need I say more?
No, Mrs. Walker.
And, of course, it's not necessary to say that a lady of her standing in the trade will take more notice than most of the efficiency of the bar staff.
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
Now, don't let me hold you up.
No, Mrs. Walker. Yes, Mrs. Walker. 3 bags full, Mrs. Walker. I don't know how you put up with it, honest, I don't. I take it this Mrs. Taylor Thingy runs a pub and all, does she?
For your edification, Hilda, Mrs. Taylor Brown does nothing so common as to run a pub. She happens to keep an inn and a restaurant of the very highest class in Derbyshire. I have heard it's even been mentioned in the local telephone directory.
Well, I think it's flaming diabolical the way she's got everybody jumping through hoops just because she's expecting visitors.
Just remembered, you will make sure there are clean towels in the bathroom, won't you, Mrs. Ogden?
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
You were saying, Hilda?
Shut it, Lynch.
Oh, get over, mate. You're not going through the flaming wall. Come here.
Stop worrying, will you? It's not good for you.
I know it isn't watching you. Come here, let me have a go.
You know your trouble, boss, don't you? You've got no faith in your staff. You can't delegate. You think you're the only one in the world that can do a proper job.
Watching you, I'm dead right.
Ah, yeah, but I must have loosened it first. Oh, here's woman's logic for you. The very day when we're transforming her kitchen into a fairy grotto, she decides to do the year's washing.
Hey, you can't do that, love. We've turned the water off.
I should hope you have. I dread to think what this place would be like if you hadn't. Hey, it didn't send out like this in brochures.
Listen, why don't you have a week in the Bahamas? When you come back, the place will be wonderful.
Do you know that's not a bad idea? Trouble is, by the time I finish at laundrette, plane will have gone. So I'll have to put up with it, won't I?
Yeah, that's the problem with being a lady of leisure. You see, if you were out all day, you'd miss all this.
Now you've got something there.
Hey, if it's a job you want.
Oh, no, it isn't, love. No, I'm going to get this lot done, and then I'm going to go into town for a couple of hours and have a look around shops. Well, it's ages since I did that, and we need some new bedding, and them curtains in our room won't stand another wash. Tomorrow, I think I might go to Liverpool for a change.
Hang on a minute. How long's this going on for?
I don't know. As long as it takes you to get us a home fit to live in.
Well, come on, get on with it.
Looking for someone, Mr. Tatlock?
No, Lord. I was just wondering how long it's likely to be before I get served. I didn't know you were so busy.
Well, that depends what you're after, doesn't it? I mean, if it's quail's eggs you want, it might take quite a while. But if it's just your usual cuppa, I'll put over in 2 shakes.
Ah, well, it is.
I'll go and sit over there. Nobody will notice if I serve you before everybody else, if that's what you want.
You're not so bad, are you?
I try.
And you couldn't slip around the toasting as well, could you?
Go on. I wouldn't do it for anybody else.
Well, with an egg on it. Oh, if it's too much trouble, I'll just have a cup of tea.
You know what you are, don't you?
Ah, I don't want you to tell me.
Don't look like he's coming in this morning.
And who may that be?
Desperate, Dan.
I wish you wouldn't call him that. You make me sound like love's last hope.
Sorry.
Here, take these 2 over there for me, will you?
Who for?
To them grease monkeys in the corner.
Right,
Go
will
on.
you put an egg on for Mr.
Yes,
Tatlock?
all right.
Made up your mind yet, have you?
I made up my mind about you the first minute I saw you, darling. Just waiting for you to give me the nod.
Well, you'll have to wait a long time then, won't you? Now, do you want anything or don't you? To eat.
Sausages fresh, are they?
As fresh as you are.
Sausage and chips twice.
Are you expecting somebody?
On the same plate. I've got an overactive belly.
Got an overactive mouth and all.
Oh, yeah. Hang about, darling.
Now what?
You don't happen to know if Dan Johnson's coming up today, do you?
I won't be at all surprised. Why, you wanting to see him?
No, not really. He asked me to do him a favour. I've got something for him.
Well, if I see him, I'll tell him you were looking for him.
Yeah, well, that depends where he was kipping last night, doesn't it?
What's that supposed to mean?
You don't think your mate's the only fish he's got to fry, do you? You can charm the birds from the trees, can that fella? He's got built-in home comforts at the end of every motorway. Lucky git.
Large Scotch bet.
Drinking on your own again? Bad sign is that, you know. Though understandable in your case, I suppose.
And I can do without the comedy if you don't mind.
Oh, touchy as well, are we?
Yeah, and you'd be touchy as well if you've been stuck over there since 7:30 this morning.
Oh, my heart bleeds for you. Must be murdered for you counting all them pound notes them slaves are making.
Well, at least those slaves, as you call them, can go home at tea time. I was stuck over there till 9:30.
Well, you know what you want to do, don't you?
I don't think I'm going to like this.
Spend a few of them pound notes.
Come off it. When do I get a chance to enjoy myself these days?
That's not what I meant. Why don't you get somebody in to give you hands?
Because it's not as easy as that, is it? Anyone worth their salt in my game's already got a job, and a well-paid one, too.
I wouldn't have thought that that was any problem to you. I thought if you just wanted somebody, you'd just help yourself.
If you want to watch, you don't overdo it.
Yeah, good advice. I'll bear that in mind.
Oh, well, life's too short. I mean, do what you've got to do and no more. That's my motto.
Yeah, I had noticed, actually.
What's the point in flogging your guts out for your old age when you might not reach it?
Fair point, Stan.
Look after yourself today and let tomorrow look after itself. Or something like that, you know.
Good job your Hilda doesn't share your views.
Oh, she's all right. She's a woman. I mean, they like doing things. Like looking after people, too. It's their nature, you know.
Well, in that case, I reckon she's cracked it.
Oh, she's all right.
There really would have been plenty of time, you know, to have got to Chester. It's no distance since they opened the motorway.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're not really sure what time this Mrs. Taylor What's-It's coming...
Mrs. Taylor Brown.
Well, Mrs. Taylor Brown, but I mean, you want to be sure that you're here when she finally does land, don't you?
Yes, I suppose you're right. There are some lovely dress shops in Mumsley. I'll be back before closing time, love.
Oh, now, don't you worry, Mrs. Walker.
No, she'll hang on until you get back, won't you, Chuck? She was just saying she can't wait to see a new frock, will you?
Really? How thoughtful. See you later, then. Ready, Frederick?
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
Drive carefully, Frederick.
Thanks very much.
Think nothing of it.
Hey, who is this as Mrs. Taylor Brown when she's at home, any road?
By heck, getting in late does have its good points, doesn't it? If you'd have been in here at the same time as the rest of us, you'd have heard this story 15 times.
Well, I wasn't, was I?
She has this place in Derbyshire. That part of Derbyshire pronounced Shangri-La's, according to Mrs. Walker.
I know that, don't I? But what's she like?
Well, I don't know, do I? But I've got a flaming good idea. It seems the minute Queen Anne walked into her place, there was this instant rapport. They got on like house on fire.
You don't mean she's another Mrs. Walker, do you?
Not exactly, no. More like Mrs. Walker thinks she is.
Oh, interesting.
One way of describing it, Betty. Hardly the one I'd have chosen.
All right, I'll get it.
Okay.
Hello, Chef's Cafe. Sorry, I can't hear you. Can you speak up a bit? Elsie? Yeah, she's here. Hang on a minute.
Who is it?
Didn't say. I think it's you know who.
Hello?
Oh, hello, Dan. No, not a surprise, really. Tonight? Well, of course you can. You don't have to ask. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you later. So long. Oh. You were right. It was him.
Does that mean you'll be having visitors again?
That's right.
But do you think you should? I mean,
what's up?
Well, I know you like him. It don't make it any easier, but...
Well, come on, spit it out.
It's something Ernie said.
Oh, Ernie. That sex-starved walking pudding that was in here this morning.
Yeah.
Well, what about?
About the kind of man Dan Johnson is. He's a woman's man, Elsie.
Oh, he's that all right?
Yeah, but you're not the only one. He's got someone everywhere he stops.
Oh, Ernie said that, did he?
I just don't want you going building up your hopes to find out you're some little pin mark somewhere on Dan Johnson's map.
Well, I thank you for your concern. But whatever there is between Dan and me is between Dan and me. And it's no concern of yours, Ernie's, or anybody else's. Right?
All right.
Gone and left him on his own in that shop again, have you? Heaven knows what he'll end up like if he gets his hands on them sticky bums. He's all right. I've trained him to bacon slicer. I thought you were threatening to shut at dinner.
Yeah, we were thinking about it, but there doesn't seem much point, really. I mean, we get so many folk in from the factory. Anyway, it's not so bad if one of us can get out, providing it's the right one.
What are you doing here?
Try and keep out of your way. I might ask you the same thing.
Well, that's a guess. I'd say I was supping a pint, but if you need confirmation, that's better.
And you've left Len at home on his own, working. I don't believe it.
Nearly right. On his own, but not at home. He's gone to Crabtree's, do an estimate.
Leaving our house looking like a bomb's hit it, I suppose.
Well, you can't turn good work down, can you? He won't be more than an hour.
And while the cat's away?
Do you mind? I'm having me lunch hour. Do you know you're a bigger slave driver than your husband? I was going to buy you a drink, but I don't think I'll bother now.
Bet, vodka when you've a minute, please. Been out something then, have we? No. That place will be like a little palace when you've finished with it, won't it? Yes. Seems a pity to leave it after you spent that much money on it. Do you reckon? Well, don't you? Well, let's say the more that Len does at it, the harder it'll be to find somewhere. Oh, I see. Does Len know that? No, I haven't told him that bit.
We've seen a lot of you today, aren't we?
Well, my wagon's in, Doc.
Are you stopping overnight?
Is that an invitation?
Isn't it possible to have a serious conversation with you?
I am serious.
There's a present for you.
Dirty washing, is it? Or somebody else done it for you?
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? After all the trouble I've been to get this stuff for you.
What is it?
Well, you said you needed some sheets, didn't you? Seems that you're likely to be having company a bit more often. Only, don't open them in here, eh? A mate of mine did me a favour, if you see what I mean.
Thanks.
Yeah, there's nothing up, is there?
Oh, no, why should there be?
Well, I thought you'd be pleased to see me.
It's just I'm busy, that's all.
Oh, come on, love, what's up?
Not now, Dan, tonight, at home.
Yeah, if you say so. Well, if it's not too much trouble, I'll have a chef special.
No, it's not too much trouble. Of course it is, and I'll fetch it over.
Hello, mate. I've been looking for you.
Oh, you found me, haven't you? Yeah, somebody been having a go at Elsie.
How would I know? Why?
Oh, something seems to be bothering her.
Probably the thought of sharing you with all those little charmers.
You haven't been opening your big trap again, have you? You always did have a gob like the Mersey Tunnel.
What do you take me for? I might have mentioned something to Gail in passing, like, but she wouldn't drop you in it. She's a good kiddies, Gail.
Thanks, mate. Thanks a lot.
All right, try it now.
OK.
Oh! Right, well, there's none coming out the bottom. Fantastic. Dry as a bone, it is.
Oh, great.
We make a great team, don't we?
Oh, you have your uses occasionally, like now, for instance. Put the kettle on.
Yeah, come in, Hilda, we're all decent.
What can we do for you, love?
Ah, well, it's more a case of what can I do for you. I thought you might like a cuppa, you know, with your water being off, like. Just brewed up for myself.
That'd be very nice, Hilda, wouldn't it, Squire?
Yes, it would.
Oh, I say, very nice too. Oh, it's going to look a proper treat when it's done, isn't it? Them are wall cupboards, are they?
Yeah, going up there, Hilda. And then the sunken swimming pool's going in the front room, and the sauna's going in the back bedroom. So that the old biddy across the road gets it through when he takes his clothes off.
Of course, my Stan would never do out like this, you know. Well, he always says these houses are so old, it's not worth spending money on them. Mind you, he talks a lot of rubbish at times. You've only got to look at Tilsley's to see that. Well, by the heck, she needs her head seen to if she's not happy after this lot. Well, you're not doing it for the good of your health, are you? I'll go and get the tea.
Yeah, good idea, love.
Of course, you know why my Stan thinks these sort of things are a waste of time, don't you? Because he's not a woman. Oh, he'd see things in a different light if he was. A very different light.
Wouldn't we all?
I thought you were supposed to be rushed off your feet.
I'm entitled to a tea break like the rest of them.
Except that your tea comes in bottles, doesn't it? And that can't be doing you much good now, can it?
Nah, you're right. I suppose I should have something to eat. Have you got anything left?
Sorry, Chuck. Not a crumb. Present company accepted, of course. Hi.
Hi. You couldn't let me have half a bottle of gin, could you, to take out?
I could, but it'd cost you.
Not much choice, I'm afraid.
Well, don't tell Mrs. Walker I've told you, but the corner shop's still open. You'll get it cheaper there.
Oh, Tom. Remind me to do you a favour sometime.
Anytime you like. Are you not having one, was you?
Oh, better not, and late as it is.
Oh, well, if you find the company is so boring, don't let me stop you.
Boring. If I stop now, I'll be here till closing time.
You're a liar, but I'm not complaining.
You know, you must find it hard going.
What's that?
Chatting up every fella that comes in here.
I don't.
Find it hard going?
Chat up every fellow what comes in here.
I see. Well, I better be off. See you.
Like I said, anytime you like.
You want to be careful what you're saying, you know?
Oh, I am. And who I say it to.
Ta-da.
Bye.
You know, I would have thought he was a bit rough even for your earthy taste.
Better than them on the smooth side, lovey. At least you know where you stand.
Trouble is, she might think I'm being a bit soppy.
What? Remembering your wedding anniversary?
Well, we're not exactly a couple of kids, are we?
Oh, what's that got to do with it? I'll tell you something, Alf Roberts. I'd crown you if you're my husband.
So you think I ought to do something?
Oh, yes, you'll go mad if you don't.
Right then, flowers it is.
Okay, having another?
I might as well. It's going to be a long night.
Oh, council meeting.
Oh, I should be so lucky. No, I've got that man coming. VAT. Hello, love. Don't usually see you in here.
No, it was Davis's idea, actually. Well, we thought we might as well give ourselves a night out for a change. Actually, we quite fancied going to the pictures, but we couldn't make our mind up where we wanted to go. And the longer we sat there, the more comfortable we got.
So you thought you'd come in here?
Yeah. No, well, what I mean is we thought if we didn't make a move, soon we wouldn't be going anywhere.
Go on, I believe you. Well, having a drink or just want to look at the evening news?
Well, I think I'll just have an orange juice, please. Emily?
That's fine for me.
Oh, wait, let me.
Oh, thank you, Al. Thank you.
That.
Mrs. Walker. How nice to see you again. You had a good journey, I trust?
Yes, thank you, Anne.
No, there's no need for that, dear.
Oh, really?
Well, if you say so.
I do, most emphatically. Fred, will you take Mrs. Taylor Brown's case upstairs, please?
Right, Mrs. Walker.
Now, dear, before we go through, may I introduce you to somebody you'll love to meet? Alf, this is Mrs. Taylor Brown, a very good friend of mine. Olive, this is Councillor Roberts, my ex-mayor. You remember I did tell you about my term of office?
You did indeed, and I'm very pleased to meet you, Councillor Roberts. I've heard such a lot about you.
Oh, have you? Yeah. Well, I'm very pleased to meet you as well, love.
Come on, dear.
Thank you.
Well, I like that. This is Councillor Roberts, my ex-mayor. What about this is Betty Turpin and Bet Lynch, who do all the grafting while she's trying to impress all her posh friends?
Betty Turpin, I'm surprised at you. I thought you would have known by now that when it comes to social acceptability, some of us have got it and some of us haven't. Some of us haven't even got past the starting gate.
Yeah, we all know where we stand, don't we?
Exactly.
It's everything I imagined it to be, Anne. Very cosy.
Nowhere near as big a place as yours, of course, but then we do our best. Oh, it must be an absolute joy running a restaurant like yours, knowing that your clients appreciate every little thing you do.
They've got no option, have they? The prices they pay. Mind you, they do get value for money. I always try to give that. I noticed on the way through you do a spot of catering yourself. Lunchtime trade, I suppose.
On a very limited scale.
Now, don't decry it, Anne. Lunchtime catering has become an art in itself these days. It's not just a case of pea soup, hot pot and potato pie anymore, you know. Still, I don't have to tell you that, do I?
No. Now, I'm being very remiss, dear. Would you like a glass of sherry? It is rather special.
If it's all the same to you, dear, I'd much rather have a cup of tea.
Of course.
Oh.
Actually, the bell was Frederick's idea. He thought it would save me running in and out of the bar every time I needed something.
You don't know how lucky you are, Anne. I wish I could get staff like that. I really do.
Worth their weight in gold. Do you know they won't let me do a thing for myself?
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
Oh, Elizabeth, yes. Do you think we could have some tea, dear?
Yes, right. Oh, I'll go and put the kettle on.
And, Elizabeth?
Yes?
The China tea service.
Yes, what else?
I'm not late, am I?
Oh, no, not much. Only half an hour. It's a good thing we're not in till later, otherwise you've had 2 pork chops for earrings.
I had to get something, didn't I? Present for you.
What, another one? You must have a guilty conscience.
I happen to be a very generous fella.
Yes, I've heard from your friend Ernie. And before you say what's that supposed to mean, why don't you ask him?
I already have.
You have?
Ernie's got a big mouth, a very big mouth, and one day he's going to find it full of somebody's knuckles.
Dan, I never thought you were a picture of innocence, youthful innocence, when you first came into my life, any more than I was. But there's one thing I can't stand. That's fellas or anybody going around saying that I'm one of Dan Johnson's pieces, like I was bits of a jigsaw puzzle scattered all over England.
And he's a frustrated little nobody, Elsie. He spends the best part of the week away from home, tucked up in his crummy little pit with nothing but a cup of cocoa for company, thinking everybody else has had it except him. All right, so we have a few laughs here and there, I admit it. It's only natural, isn't it?
Look, what you do when you're not here is none of my business. I mean, I don't expect you... If I'd have wanted somebody that I wanted to put wraps on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I wouldn't have even looked at you twice in the first place. But there's one thing I want you to get into your head, Dan. Don't ever make a fool of me. Not ever. Now, are we going to open that, or are you going to thump me round the ear hole and walk out the front door?
You mean I've got a choice? You know, I could really fancy you when you're mad.
Oh, no, you couldn't. And don't you ever forget it.
Creme caramel. Spot of cheese. Coffee.
No, thank you, dear. That was quite sufficient.
Well, now, if you're quite sure you've had a sufficiency, love, I'll ring for Elizabeth to clear the table. Actually, I think we're very wise to eat a light lunch.
I'm sure we are, dear. I've never been to a ladies' evening yet where they didn't quite overface one.
Exactly. And the Weatherfield Lodge is second to none when it comes to hospitality. Well, what's keeping Elizabeth? She knows that one ring means her.
You're going to confuse your staff, Anne.
I don't think so, dear. No, 1 ring for Elizabeth, 2 for bed.
Ah, but there you are, you see. Have you done 1 ring twice, or was that 2 rings slowly? You see, you can't afford to give staff the slightest excuse for pleading bafflement.
Was you ringing, Mrs. Walker?
Yes, Mrs. Ogden, but not for you. Where's Mrs. Turpin?
Oh, she just popped down the corner shop. And Fred and Bet are snowed under in there. Place is bursting. There must be something out of sweaty clogs.
No need to labour the point. Thank you, Mrs. Ogden. Would you mind clearing the table?
Oh, yeah, right.
Yes, as I was saying, dear, the Weatherfield Lodge, their generosity is almost legendary. You know, I am quite sure every lady tonight will be given a corsage.
I always think that's a very civilised gesture.
Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Walker. They won't be giving everybody a corset, will they? How will they know the measurements?
Not a corset, Mrs. Ogden. A corsage. A spray to pin on one's gown.
Oh, yeah, well, of course, I knew that. I just misheard you, that's all. You know, I believe they're very good, these ladies' evenings. My Stan were thinking of going in for it once. Mason's like, you know. But then he's always that busy.
What does your husband do?
Oh, he's got his own business.
Oh.
A window cleaning round.
Oh. Yes, I believe they do a very good blowout. I'm thinking of going there myself one of these days.
Mrs. Ogden, one doesn't just go there. One has to be invited by one of the Masons. You'll find Arthur Bromley a charming host, delightful man.
Bromley? Hey, I know that name. Doesn't he work at the Abattoir?
He most certainly does not, Mrs. Ogden. And now, if you don't mind, I am trying to conduct a conversation with Mrs. Taylor Brown.
Oh, you go right ahead, Mrs. Walker. Don't mind me.
2 double egg and chips, 1 egg, chips and beans.
Right.
Excuse me. Is this where the waitress has for our clothes?
Oh, Dan, what are you doing here?
I just arrived just this minute. I'm on my way to the depot. I thought I'd stop by. You know, I'm glad I did. You look great.
Oh, yes, greased up to the eyeballs in eggs, beans and chips.
It suits you. You look terrific.
Yeah, you don't look so bad yourself. Oh, I'm glad to see you. How long are you stopping?
A couple of nights this time. Am I all right for a bed?
Need you ask?
Great. Well, I'll get my load delivered and then head for your place, OK?
Yeah, OK. Oh, you'll need a door key. Wait a minute. Here, I'll just let yourself in and make yourself at home.
Well, what time will you be finished?
Oh, 6, 1:30, no later.
Well, we'll go out in the town if you like.
I don't know. Probably feel more like flopping by 6:30.
Well, we'll see how you feel. See you then.
All right.
Ta-da.
Are you shopping with you tonight?
Yeah. Have you got face ache or something?
I never said anything, did I?
Driver.
Driver. Hey, puts you in mind of them hospital films, doesn't it? You know, needle nurse, needle doctor, stitches nurse, stitches doctor.
Bung.
Bung. See what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you two could do a bit of brain surgery on side, couldn't you? You could start on each other.
Hey, Lisa, I went out to a great place last night.
Yeah?
Cost £1 to get in, but once you were in, you could drink as much as you wanted for nothing. And the girls were walking around half naked.
Well, you caught his interest, any road.
Straight up, yeah. As much as you wanted to drink for nothing. And the girls half naked.
Where's this?
Salford Baths.
You're a clown, yeah.
It's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah. Hello. Yes, this is Mrs. Fairclough. Oh, hello, Mr. Lambert. Just hang on a second. Hey, Len, it's Mr. Lambert. Him that owns that house we went to look at.
Oh, the one on Millionaire's Row. What does he want?
He wants to know if you're still interested. You keep on with sink unit. I'll handle it. Hello, Mr. Lambert. Well, yes, we did like the house very much, but it wasn't quite what we're after. Yes. Oh, yes. That's all right. Bye. Do you know, I reckon he'd drop price if we pushed.
I thought you were definitely stopping round here.
Oh, we are, for the time being. Don't worry, Len, I won't spring any shocks on you. You know, Eddie, I couldn't make Len live out there. It were a mile to the nearest pub.
I keep telling you, darling, when we finish with this place, it'll be a little palace.
Oh, I know, and I shall be living like a queen. But just get on with sink unit, eh? I mean, every palace should have one.
Well, dear, I think we're nearly there.
Have you finished in the bathroom, Anne?
Yes, I'm so sorry to have kept you waiting.
Oh, it's quite all right, dear. I know it must be difficult with only the one bathroom. I dare say I'm quite spoiled at the Cavendish.
I must say you look charming.
Thank you, dear. Oh, I say. Oh, my word.
You like it?
Oh, yes, yes. I think you've been very clever, Anne.
You don't think it's
No,
true?
no, you've exactly caught the happy medium. You've certainly not gone too far.
good. I like your frock, dear.
Yes, it is
and
rather
quite,
nice, isn't
quite
it?
slimming. Now, I wonder, would you mind pressing the back of my zip for me?
I'm sorry, dear. My nails are wet. I'm quite helpless.
5:30, Mrs. Walker. Shall I open up and let the ravaging beasts in?
I'll leave it to you, Bet. Bet, would you fasten the back of my zip?
Sure.
Be careful, dear.
Oh, don't fret. I've got violinist fingers. Always fiddling with something. What a ravishing pair. Talk about Bobby Dazzlers.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah, any red-blooded males that this do tonight, you'll trap long before Thorky Corky.
I don't think it's going to be quite that sort of affair, dear. In fact, I don't think that you would enjoy it.
Oh, be boring, will it?
No, it'll be quite splendid and rather gay.
You mean, it won't, will it?
Now, Bet, I know what you're meaning as a joke, but I refuse to abandon a perfectly legitimate word just because raffish elements have seized on it.
Good for you. Well, if I don't open up, we won't sell no ale. We don't sell no ale, bang goes that new pair of drawers I've set my heart on.
Rather a rough diamond, I'm afraid, I'll bet.
Well, as they say, a precious stone is only as good as its setting.
Yeah, Mrs. Walker and a friend are off to one of those ladies' evenings tonight down at the Assembly Rooms.
Oh, it'll be Bella's big do, I bet.
What? They've been getting ready since this morning.
Somebody must have invited them. Did they say who?
Yes, you did mention her name. Bromley.
Oh, I know that bit, but Butcher, Arthur Bromley. You know, he's got them two butchers. He's got that covered stall in the market.
Oh, I knew you mean. Oh, I never did like his mince.
Well, his sausages are rubbish.
Well, it's not put Mrs. Walker off.
Oh, well, you know what they say, Betty? One man's meat.
Is that all you inside this outfit?
Well, there's nobody in here with me.
Well, you know what I mean. It all looks good. You just wonder if everything's genuine.
You what? It's Mother Nature's own produce. Guaranteed pure and unadulterated.
There's not a lot of that nowadays.
Huh, you can say that again. I mean, you don't need to trust, do you? Look at you. That could be a wig, and you could be wearing built-up shoes.
Well, if you're really curious, you'll have to get to know me better.
Well, that's up to you, isn't it? I mean, I know it's leap year, but I still think the fella should make the first move.
That's not going to be easy with your working arrangements now. You'll be on this bar every night.
Not every night. Like tonight, for instance, I finish at 7:30.
Oh, you know. It's funny. About that time, I might just be starting.
I'm feeling a bit peckish. Hadn't you better get home and see about the tea?
Oh, I'm not making no tea tonight.
What do you mean?
What I say? I'm not cooking no tea.
I've done now, honest.
I never said you had. I just fancy a change, that's all. I want to eat out.
Well, it's a bit parky, isn't it? And Jackson's Chewy doesn't open after 8.
Oh, when I say eat out, I don't mean walking down the street eating fish and chips out of a newspaper, you great swinnick. I mean a proper sit-down feed in a cafe.
What do you think I'm made of?
Ooh, if I told you what I thought you was made of, Stanley, you wouldn't like it. Oh, look, I'm not talking about somewhere posh with white tablecloths and waiters. Although goodness knows some women get taken to places like that now and again. No, I just fancy eating somewhat I haven't cooked myself, that's all. You can take me to Jim's Caff.
All right, then you're paying.
Oh, my hecker's paying.
It's coming out the housekeeping. I'm skint. I'm on the floor.
Yeah, with all the other sweepings. Well, any road, I'm going round there for my tea. Anything you want, you'll have to get for yourself.
What time then? 8 o'clock?
Make it 15:15, I want to change.
Okay. Only, don't put it about, you know what I mean? They're a nosy lot round here. I'll see you later.
Hey, you're never going out with him, are you?
Why not? He's a fanciful fella, isn't he?
Selfish, fanciful fella.
She might think he is, but there's no strings attached as far as I can see.
You're asking for trouble, I'm telling you.
I'm not bothered about Elsie. It's every girl for herself in this world.
Large scotch when you finish chatting.
He'll tell you.
What?
Is everything fair in love and war?
Definitely.
That's what you're heading for, lovey. Thank you. War.
Oh, God blimey, Fred. What you got up there, son, eh?
Oh, don't you start.
That's his chauffeur's gear. Mrs. Walker makes him wear it.
I thought he was going to a fancy dress do as action man.
Oh, yeah, highly amusing. Give us a pint, Bet.
Sorry. Mrs. Walker's strict instructions. On no account is Fred to be given a drink before he drives us to the ladies' evening.
Oh, flipping marvellous. In it for 2 pence, I can tell her what to do with a flipping job.
Now's your chance.
Ah, Fred. Is the car ready?
Just outside, Mrs. Walker.
That's telling.
All cleaned, is it?
Yes, it's all nice and polished.
Crawler.
You're looking very smart, Fred.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker.
3 bags full, Mrs. Walker.
I expect it's all a bit different to this at your pub.
Oh, the Cavendish is not a pub. It's an old coaching inn, or was. Of course, I don't cater for the modern coach trade.
Fancy.
Excuse me a minute while I brief my staff.
Yeah.
Now, you do realise, Elizabeth, that I should be sending Fred back.
Oh, she looks very regal, doesn't she?
Every inch a duchess at the very least.
I never get a chance to wear a long frock or dress up at all, really.
The trouble is, Mavis, we never go out anywhere.
Oh, well, nowhere glamorous. I mean, nowhere where there's dancing.
If Mrs. Walker can do it at her age, I really think we ought to be a little more adventurous, Mavis.
So do I.
Now, Fred, don't forget you're coming back to collect Mrs. Taylor Brown and myself at midnight.
Right, Mrs. Walker.
Come along.
Mrs. Walker, you and your friend going to a ball?
You could say that, Mr. Tetlock, yes.
Where have you left Cinderella?
Pardon?
Well, you two going to a ball. Where have you left Cinderella?
Really, Mr. Tetlock. Come along, dear.
What a rude old man.
Albert, come here. I'm going to buy you a very big drink.
Fred, have you checked the petrol?
There's a full tank, Mrs. Walker.
Have you wiped our upholstery down?
It's all in order, Mrs. Walker.
Good. Don't thrust me forward. Take my bag. Don't catch my dress.
Well, if you're sort of backed in, Mrs. Walker...
No, can't you open the door just a little wider? Now, Fred, don't stand there. Take us to the assembly room.
Right, Mrs. Walker. Yes, Mrs. Walker. 3 bags flipping full, Mrs. Walker.
Now, don't forget, Fred, come back for us at midnight.
Right, Mrs. Walker, now have a nice time.
Thank you. My bag, where's my evening bag?
Is it in the car?
Oh, blimey.
I must have left it in the road.
No, dear, I saw you come out.
No, you give it to me as you were getting in the car, Mrs. Walker.
Oh, and where'd you put it?
Well, that's it, you see. I put it on the roof as I was helping you in, remember?
Yes, and where is it now?
Well, that's it. I forgot it, didn't I? I mean, well, I was a bit mad at Mrs. Walker. I mean,
You've lost my bag.
Easy,
That had everything in it. My purse, my checkbook.
Yes, well, we'd better go and look
Fred
for
will
it.
go.
Well, I mean, I can go and have a look. I mean, it can be anywhere on
All
the
the
roof, can't
more
it?
reason why you should hurry, isn't there? Now, I hold you responsible, and don't come back without it.
Right, Mrs. Walker.
Of all stupidity.
Shouldn't we have gone with him, dear?
Oh, no, dear, I'm not going to let it spoil your evening.
But the invitations, they were in your bag.
No difficulty. No difficulty at all. No, I'm known quite well here. I mean, my name does count for something. Come along, dear.
Hello, love. Come and sit down. You must be jiggered. I'll go and put the kettle on.
Oh, Tar. Oh, it's all rush in that cafe.
Well, you're looking a bit tired this afternoon when I called in. I think you'd be better off having a quiet night in tonight.
To tell you the truth, I could do with a night in if you don't mind. Mind, if you want to go out, it's okay by me. I wouldn't have to be carried or anything.
Well, the thing is, Elsie, something's cropped up. You know, when I went down to the depot, who should I bump into but Billy Price?
Who's he?
Well, haven't I told you about Billy Price? He's a great bloke. We were in the army together, in Malaya. Well, we became great mates.
Does he live round here?
No, that's why I was glad I bumped into him. Well, he was feeling a bit lost, so I said I'd see him later. Hope you don't mind.
No, of course not. Off you go. Go on.
Madam. Okay, sir.
Good evening.
Excuse me, madam. Good evening, madam. Can I have your invitations, please?
My name is Walker, Mrs. Ann Walker.
Oh, yes, madam.
A most annoying thing has happened. My chauffeur has foolishly lost my evening bag.
Here in the hall, madam.
Oh, no, on the journey. Needless to say, the invitation cards were in it. Now, I've sent him to find them, of course. But in the meantime, I'm sure he'll allow us to go inside.
I'm very sorry, madam. It's more than my job's worth. I've had strict instructions.
Oh, really? My friend, Mrs. Taylor Brown, has come all the way from Derbyshire coming on this occasion. Now, I do realise that you have to be on the alert for gate crashes. We don't look like gate crashes, do we?
Well, that's one of them questions, isn't it? Like, how long is a piece of string?
Please don't be flippant with me. I happen to be a former Lady Mayoress of this borough.
I'm sorry, madam, but I've got my instructions. No invitations, no admission. I am very sorry, but try and look at it my way.
This is too much.
Well, what about your friend, Mr. Bromley? He could vouch for
us. Of course. We're guests of Mr. Bromley.
I don't think I know the gentleman.
Everybody knows Mr. Bromley. Now, will you please go inside, find Mr. Bromley, and he will vouch for us.
I'm sorry, madam, I can't leave this door. I'll ask if I get the chance. Now, stand aside, please, ladies. There are people trying to come through.
Hey! Either you two seen handbag anywhere?
An handbag?
Yeah.
Why, what's up? Oh, you bits and pieces in it.
Go on, you cheeky monkeys.
Oh, come on, let's let you in me handbag.
Oh, they're a right twist, these things.
You never know, Hilda. You might win the jackpot.
Yeah, and my stand might fly.
Hey, Hilda.
I'm not buying your tea for you, and that's final. I've had mine, and very tasty it were and all.
Come here, I've got something to show you.
What? What have you got there?
Found it near Rover's.
Looks like Annie Walker's. Yeah, it is. What do you bring your tea for?
Well, she must have dropped it when she went to that do.
Oh, yeah. Here's the invite, all that curly writing. And all them money.
She'll know how much there is, won't she?
Of course she will.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Well, everything seems to be here. Checkbook and all.
Well, you better take it back to her.
Oh, I should be worried sick.
What are you rooting for?
Just making sure it's all here. Hey, here's a letter. Jersey postmark. It'll be from there, Billy. Yeah. He says he's not coming over for Easter unless she sends in the airfare. Oh, would you believe it? And there's her always cracking on that he's making a fortune.
Well, I'd better get it back to her.
Yeah, there's a bus goes right past the hall. I'll get that. What are you doing?
Listen, your chaps.
You're not, you know. Them's mine over there.
Hey, Eloise.
Thanks, love. On your own tonight?
Yeah, Mrs. Walker's gone to this do. Fred's driving her, but he should be back before long.
Oh, is Bet having a night off then?
Yes, she is.
Oh, well, never mind. I'll keep you coming. Dan's in town, but he's going to meet this fella. Oh, some reunion, I don't know what.
Oh, you're back. What kept you?
Look, I'm in dead lumber, Betty. Has anybody handed Mrs. Walker's handbag in?
How do you mean? She lost it, love.
Well, I wouldn't be flipping asking if she hadn't lost it. Sorry, love, it's my fault. It was me as lost it, weren't it?
Well, come, Fred. Haven't you got a handbag of your own?
Don't you flipping start. I put it on the roof of the car when we were setting off as I was helping her into it, like, and... Well, I forgot it, didn't I? It's somewhere between here and there.
I've heard of things dropping off a lorry, but this beats it all.
Nobody's brought it in, then?
Well, no, I'd have said if they had, love.
Well, that's it. I'll have to just get back and break the bad news. Heck, she'd have me guts for garters.
Simply a matter of time.
You have been saying that for the last 20 minutes. Really, Anne, you gave me to believe that you were, and I quote you precisely, something of a celebrity in local society. Well, all I can say is nobody seems to have the slightest idea who you are.
I grant you that they're having a different type of people at these functions nowadays. I don't know them. I don't want to know them. But if you'll just have some patience.
I could have sat at home and been patient. I'm beginning to wish I had.
And so am I.
Mrs. Walker.
Oh, where is it, Fred?
Oh, that's it, Mrs. Walker. I've looked everywhere. I can't find it anywhere.
Well, if that concludes the evening's entertainment, we might as well get our coats.
Well, why don't you phone the police, Mrs. Walker? Tell them about your bag.
Oh, don't you worry, I intend to. And I intend to give them a full account of your carelessness and your almost criminal stupidity.
You, Mrs. Walker!
Oh, no, that's all I need.
I've got your back, Mrs. Walker.
Mrs. Ogden, how wonderful.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You saved the day.
Where'd you get it?
Well, Stan found it. Just happened to spot it lying in the gutter.
And everything seems to be in it.
Oh, yes, everything's there. Well, Stan brought it to me, you see, so I opened it to see whose it was like, and, well, I seen your invite, so I come straight down.
All's well that ends well. Mrs. Taylor Brown has been on pins because of it.
I'm sure you will be giving her a reward, Anne.
Reward? Oh, well, I mean, I've just been a good neighbour, really, haven't I? I mean, I didn't do it for a reward. I'd have done it any road. Still, it's nice to get a reward. I won't pretend it
My
isn't.
dear, you richly did, Mrs. Ogden.
Anne, 5 at least, after all.
Very well. 5 it shall be. There you are, Mrs. Ogden.
Oh, well, thanks very much. Yes, I got straight into a taxi and I rushed down here. £2 he charged me.
Oh, well, you were robbed it in 2 quid from here to there, surely.
Never mind. I shall reimburse you. There you are, my dear. Actually, it is Fred who lost the bag who should be rewarding you. I shall have a word with you later, Fred.
Right, Mrs. Walker.
In the meantime, perhaps you'll take Mrs. Ogden home. And Mrs. Ogden, thank you again.
Oh, don't mention it. I mean, that's what friends are for, isn't it?
Well, Olive, the evening seems to be saved.
It was a smashing night out.
Terrific. You don't waste much time, do you?
I never see much point in hanging about, though. What are we standing out here for? Let's go in.
Oh, I don't know, Dan. It's not really my place. Alf and Reenie might not like it.
There's a famous answer to that, you know.
I believe I know the one you mean, now you come to mention it.
Dan Johnson, I've got something for you. Here. You're not spending the night in my house, or any other night for that matter, so there. I suppose that's Billy Price, your best mate you stood next to me.
Calm down.
Drop dead. And stay away from me. You played your rotten games too close to my front doorstep. Get back to the slag you've been with. Maybe you'll find she's a bigger mug than I am.
Hello, love.
Morning. Is Bet Lynch about?
Bet? Oh, it's a bit early for Bet yet, love.
No, she's not one of life's early risers, you know, and I'll bet.
Well, could you tell her I'd like a word with her, please?
Well, is it something that can't wait, love? You see, if she goes to bed late, she often don't get up till after 10.
And she was late last night, as it happens.
Yeah, I bet she was.
I mean, I'll give her a knock if it's something urgent.
No, it's too late. I'll catch up with her during the day.
Ah, well, we'll tell you what to see her, shall we?
Yeah, she might do that.
Shall we say what about?
No, don't bother. I'm sure her hide's not that thick that she doesn't know what I want her for.
Do you know what all that were about?
I haven't got a clue. But looking at Elsie, I think we're safe for not knowing.
Hey, so I'm out shopping, and this couple asked me how I am. I said, all right. I said, but I've just lost my husband, which I had, because he'd wandered off somewhere. Do you know I should have a lead on him or something?
Well, get on with tail, then.
Well, when I said I'd lost him, they thought I meant that he'd popped his clothes. Hey, can you imagine that, kid? Hey, but they were right upset. They said, what it unexpected like?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Hey, then what happened? Oh, so then he turns up, doesn't it? Walking like a zombie, like he usually does. Carrying all this wood, he just thought, hey, it could have been his coffin.
Something funny, is it?
Oh, yeah. I was just telling them about our Jack rising from dead at Middle of Deansgate.
Rising from what?
Oh, it was just somehow I was telling them.
You want to get here early in the morning, then you know about it.
I want to what? Say that again.
We're only a joke.
I want to get here on time.
She were on it, Joe.
Now, let me tell you something. I was here until gone 10 last night, working. And it's been the same as that every night for the past month. And do you know why? Just so I can keep this place running, that's why. So I can keep you lot in a job, that's why. So you do me a favour, you. Don't start telling me that I'm late.
So we can have a job?
I'll tell him what to do with his flipping job one of these days, I will.
Just 'cause he's got hangover.
Hey, he does look tired, though, doesn't he?
Tired?
Oh, it does, don't you think?
I'm tired of counting his brass. Flaming hangover.
Hey, poor little chap. I mean, it must be tiring, you know, looking after all us lot. I suppose so. Hey, it must, though, be right.
one do you think has the nicest face of them?
Right, I tidied round upstairs and I've done the beds.
Oh, you needn't have bothered. I'd have done it later.
Oh, now there's no need. I'll make us a pot of tea, shall I?
Oh, I'll make it. You come and sit
there.
Well, I'd better get on then, Tracy. I have, haven't I? Do some more of this. Oh, what's the matter?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking about all the silly little arguments we have.
Arguments?
Well, not exactly arguments, but... I mean, who's going to put the kettle on? Whose turn is it to hoover? Who's going to run to the shop? I mean, well, let's face it, we're just trying to fill us time in, aren't we?
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I would. Do you know, I used to have two aunties. In their 80s, they lived together. And the way we carry on, I keep being reminded of them.
Oh, no.
Well, no, then. But I mean, look at us as we were 2 or 3 years ago, and look at us now, eh?
Everybody feels like that from time to time, though, don't they?
Yeah, some have more cause than others, though. I mean, do you miss having a job?
A job?
Yeah. Because I do. I think that's part of it, anyway.
Well, I've not been that long without one, though, have I?
No. Do you know, I was wondering whether it might be worth having a look round, to see if there's anything going.
Well, why don't you, then?
Well, it can't do any harm. The money would be nice. Oh, heck, I've offered you a cup of tea. I haven't even put kettle on yet.
Oh, well, I'll do it while you...
Sorry. No more arguing. There's going to be a different setup round here, starting this minute.
Did you hear that? Yeah. This minute, your mummy said, and you set up.
Thank you, Mrs. Dilworth. Bye-bye.
Hey, Alan.
Oh, bless you.
I see bets in the land of the living. We might find out what else the Tommy was up in arms about then.
Hey, listen, don't you get involved. Them two are big enough to take care of themselves.
Good morning, Al. Good morning, Renee. Good morning, cigarettes. 65p, worth every last p.
A bet?
Yes, love?
Elsie was in earlier. She said she wanted a word with you. Elsie Tanner.
Oh, I know you mean, love. I think I can guess why as well.
So where's Fred now, then?
Back Derby, I should imagine.
What's she doing there?
Penance for losing Mrs. Walker's handbag last night. He volunteered to give up his day off so he could take Mrs. Taylor Brown home.
He volunteered? I don't believe a word of it.
Well, he felt he had to do something, and then, of course, Mrs. Walker decided she'd go with him and visit their journey.
Well, so he's got them both on the back seat now.
Yeah.
Like a couple of nesting pigeons, eh? Chewing at each other behind your ears.
And your little cup of poison. Is that it, then?
Yeah. Do you want one?
Can you afford it?
Not really, no.
Then I will.
Cheers, Mark.
Cheers. Cheers, then.
Yeah, cheers. Hey, was that you I saw over the road last night till all hours?
Yeah.
Ah, I saw your light on there.
I'm big sick of it. Apart from moving a bit in there, I'm working all hours that God send.
Yeah, it's easily done.
Yeah, I'm using too much of this stuff to keep me going.
Are you frightened it might evaporate?
Not anymore, I'm not. You can put another large one in there, please. Anyone else?
No, I've only just started this one.
Just me, then.
Can I just check something first? What? That you've remembered me in your will?
Just get the drink.
Just get the drink.
You know, trouble with a one-man operation like yours, I suppose, you've got nobody you can sort of delegate to, you know what I mean?
You're right there, I am.
You see, I bet you could do with a supervisor in that sewing room for a start-up.
What you're meaning is I should promote your wife, isn't it?
Huh? Oh, no, I mean, look, that's not what I was
Why, don't
getting
you
at.
think she'd be any good at the job, then?
Well, as a matter of fact, I think she'd be very good. But, well, I mean, I'm not saying she couldn't do it, you know what I mean?
Your transfusion.
So, no, you're right, I do need someone. And I say this about Ivy, better the devil you know than the one you don't.
Yeah, that's the way I like to look at her and all. Cheers.
Yeah. Well, we just have to see how things go then, won't we?
No, all I'm saying is, there's no need to encourage them to actually play the records and then hang around and talk.
I'm only trying to sell records. I mean, I won't try if you don't want.
Well, of course I want you to sell the records, but I mean, it's just right ways and wrong ways of doing everything.
Well, I think you've been using the wrong way. I mean, most of those you'll only be able to sell as golden oldies you've had them that long.
Yeah, I'll take this one.
Which, oh yeah, £4 is that?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Hope you like it.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya.
I know I may seem old-fashioned to you, Louise, but the danger is if you're too familiar with people, well, there's always the chance they might take advantage.
Oh, has that happened a lot with you? People trying to take advantage?
No.
I'll tell you what. While we've naught to do, I'll make us a cup of tea, shall I?
Oh, well, Just a bit near dinner time.
Hello, love.
Where's little Tracy?
Ah, she's helping Emily to wash up. At least that's what she thinks she's doing. No, I've just called in to ask you if you're still on your own here, like.
On my own?
Yeah, I just wondered if there was a chance of a job going for me.
Oh, no, well, I'm sorry, but we've taken on a new assistant.
Oh, I see. I didn't know. Hello, love.
Hello.
No, I just thought it was time I got back in harness, and with this place being so close, it would have been just the ticket.
Well, I'll let you know if there ever is another vacancy.
You'll have her thinking I'm after a job. Okay, I'll see you, love.
All right, bye-bye. You see, Louise, what I was saying before, you see, I do talk to people, but, well, somehow it's not the same as you do.
Yeah, I was watching.
Good.
And there is a difference. When they talk to me, they buy things.
Hey, you know, I had Elsie Tanner in here last night telling me how, you know, that fella.
Dan Johnson?
Yeah, I was out with his mates and I'm saying, oh, yes, Elsie. No, Elsie. Knowing full well that you were out with you.
I bet you were great, Betty, love. I just wish I'd have been here to see you.
Yeah, well, don't you think you can get away with tricks like that forevermore? I mean, folks round here, you know, they're not as dozy as you think they are.
Hey, look, have you seen Sleeping Beauty over there?
Hey, wakey, wakey!
Hey?
Sign of old age, that is, Albert. Sleeping when people are talking to you.
I am old.
I didn't think you were as old as all that, though, Albert.
Oh, well, I am. And now I'll finish my kip, if you don't mind.
Oh, suit yourself. It's just that I was going to ask you if you wanted another drink, lad.
Well, I can always manage another.
Oh, I thought you might somehow. Right, love, 2 ounces of bitter, a large one or whatever Mike's having.
Right.
And a packet of peanuts.
OK.
You know, I must be crazy. Right round the twist.
Why?
Well, here am I working myself into an early grave, or at least an early ulcer. And for what? A 2-bit factory that anyone else would have walked out of years ago. Overnight. I mean, what makes me do it?
I don't know.
Well, it can't be the profit, can it? Never have a chance to spend it nowadays. I mean, why do I do it?
Why does he do what?
Hello, Chuck, I don't know. What would you like?
Oh, nothing, thanks, except for a word with this gentleman here.
Me?
£1.35, please, Bert.
Salad.
Yeah, that's if you don't mind talking shop and in your dinner time as well.
Well, why should I mind? I sleep, eat and drink shop. What was it you wanted?
A job.
Oh, is that all? No, I'm sorry, love. Nothing doing at the moment. But I'll tell you where you might be lucky, if you're not too fussy.
No, anything.
Weatherfield Rainwear. Do you know them? Weatherfield Rainwear.
Yeah.
Excuse me a minute.
Well, listen, come here. I hear they're expanding, taking on extra staff. I can put a word in there for you if you like.
Hi, girls, all right.
Hello.
There, look, little present. Hey, excuse me a minute, but could I just have a word with you? Private.
Ain't he nice to you? I mean to say as your husband.
Well, he knows where if he doesn't.
Oh, thank you.
Listen, what is it? What do you want, love?
Oh, nothing. It's just something I thought you might want to know, that's all. Know what I mean?
Oh, come here.
Have you noticed he's always polite, isn't he?
Oh, in company, aye.
You know, it must be nice to be able to introduce your husband to people without them feeling insulted.
But he didn't mention no definite then, I mean about me.
Well, he said,
Yeah.
he said, better the devil you know than the devil you don't.
Oh, Bet.
No, he was just joking.
Excuse
me?
me?
Hey, but he definitely said he wanted a supervisor.
And you mentioned me?
And I mentioned you, so you've got nought to worry about. Look, from the way he was acting, I'd say you've as good as got that job laid out right on a plate.
Hello. Look who's just come in. Oh, you mean our ex-supervisor's gone to serve on at Greasy Joe's?
Oh, she were all right with Elsa.
When it suited her.
Well, she wants supervisor, you know. I mean, you have to be a bit laddy down in that job, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes, love. I don't want to drink, Betty. I'd just like a word with Madam there, if you don't mind. But if you don't mind.
She wants a word with you, does Elsie?
How does she?
It's not about that fella, is it?
Why not ask her?
But we don't want the slanging match in here, love.
Elsie?
About last night.
I thought it might be.
What game do you think you're on?
Look, Elsie, I'm sorry that you had to see us like you did.
Oh, you mean you'd rather I hadn't found out at all?
I know how you must have felt, and like I said, I'm sorry.
Is that all you've got to say?
Well, there's not a lot more I can say, is there?
Well, I can, and I'm warning you, lady. Don't you ever try and make a fool of me again like that.
Try and make a fool of you, Elsie. I wasn't even trying.
Now, listen, you, once and for all, if ever again you put your sticky fingers on any fella that belongs to me, I'll knock that stupid peroxided head right off your silly shoulders.
Do you know, it's funny. I don't remember him, Dan. mentioning he ever had out to do with you?
No, well, he wouldn't, would he? He wouldn't have chance, not with you throwing yourself at him like he was the last man alive. Did he know that you throw yourself at everything in trousers that comes through that flaming door?
Funny you getting so upset, Chuck. I was under the impression he was under your roof as a lodger, bed and breakfast.
Now, don't you get clever with me, madam.
I thought you saw him last thing at night and first thing in the morning. Of course, I could be wrong.
You could be very wrong, so watch what you're saying. There could
All
be
right, Elsie,
You
all right,
can't
that's
even
the
keep
end
a
of it.
fella of your own, can you?
At least I don't hold open house. Bring your lorry to Elsie Tanner's.
You cheap, foul-mouthed flute!
I suppose the older you get, the more jealous you get, eh?
All right, I've had enough. Now, come on.
Definitely had enough. Shouldn't you be saying that to that bag?
Look, it's you that's working
For
here.
God's sake, forget about the whole damn thing. She's on home territory here. Don't forget that.
Well, hey, wants it great. I don't know, but wants it great. Hey, it were better than wrestling on a Saturday afternoon. Hey, must be them lodgers she's been having. She said lorries, didn't she? Lorries. Hey, come on, we'll get sacked. All right.
Hey,
What?
packet of cheese and onion crisps.
He might not notice. Kind of big stuff.
Oh, it's only 5 minutes.
Hey, never mind. Come on, let's get in.
Oh, hello, Mr. Baldwin.
What's all this then? New system, is it, eh? Swedish or something? Start when you want and finish when you want.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're late, Mr. Baldwin. Yeah, only they had a cabaret at Rover's.
Cabaret?
Yeah, just after you went. You just missed it.
I seem to be missing everything today, don't I?
Yeah, we're Bet Lynch now, sits Hannah.
Well, thank you very much, Vida, but I'm not interested.
Really?
Really? Now, if you wouldn't mind just getting on with your work, OK?
Well, I don't mind.
I do. This is stuff for Aspinall, is it?
Yeah.
You saw it packed this morning, did you? Like I said.
Yeah.
No, what I mean is, did you... Look, come in the office a minute.
Hey, I bet it were Bet Lynch making eyes at Elsie Tanner's fella.
Oh, aye, will have been.
Thought you were going to come up.
No, what I mean is you made sure that everything on top was the good stuff, didn't you? I mean, anything a bit doubtful, we wouldn't want it to be the first thing that they saw, would we? Are you with me?
Yes, and yes. I made sure that good stuff were on bottom.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have put it like that myself, but,
Well, good stuff were on top, let's put it that way.
yeah, let's. What's all this about the Rovers?
Oh, Bet Lynch and Elsie Tanner, scratching each other's eyes out nearly. Yeah.
Well, don't let me keep you from your bonus, go on.
There's nothing else, then?
Oh, no. Not unless there's something else that you know that I don't.
No. Get on with your work.
No, they always let me change them if they're unsuitable.
Well, what way is it not suitable?
That's got nothing to do with you. I just want to change it.
Well, you can't change it, Mr. Tatlock, and you know very well you can't. We can't go changing books that have been read.
Well, who says I've read it?
Well, you bought that one, what, about a month ago now?
Well, I'm a slow reader.
No, I'm sorry. You're very welcome to choose another book, but if you do, you'll have to pay for it like everybody else.
Oh, well, I'll know next time then, won't I?
You knew this time.
Oh, wait. You try reading on an old age pension.
Oh. Now, you see, Louise, that's a very good example of what I was saying. What? About dealing with customers. You see, it's all very well playing records and that, but sometimes you just have to show a bit of authority.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no knowing what liberties they might take.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, I'm going to leave you in charge for half an hour while I pop down to the wholesalers. You'll be all right, will you?
Yeah.
All right, then, bye-bye.
Ta-ra. Oh, in charge. If only me mum could see me now. Oh, she'd be wanting a free packet of fags knowing her.
Afternoon, Lou.
Hello.
Oh, you're in charge, eh?
Yeah. Manageress has just popped out. You must have passed her.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You're new here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Enjoying it?
It's all right.
Ah, it's better than the door queue, isn't it?
You bet.
Yeah. Right, love, here we are. Sign it.
What for?
Oh, it's just the normal procedure, you see. I leave these here, then call back in a day or two and see how they're going. Only I have to get your signature. You know my boss? He thinks I'm stuffing them down great somewhere.
Hey, look who it is.
Hello, you lot.
Come to see out where the half lives, have you?
Something like that. And come to collect an order you've been doing for us while I'm at it.
Hey, no wonder we didn't see you at last union meeting. Hobnobbing with bosses now, are you?
Well, would you say no if your firm wanted to give you more money for doing less work?
Oh, Fat Jansen here.
Baldwin Stringer, yeah? From Aspinall.
That's right.
Mike Baldwin.
Yeah, I'd guessed who you were.
Oh?
I'd already had a description, you see.
Oh, I see.
I told you not to say all them things about
Well,
it.
anyway, everything's packed and ready. All you got to do is say the word and it's yours.
Well, I shall want to have a look.
Well, everything's there. I mean, 2, 4, 6 dozen of them.
I mean, inside. See what I'm buying. I mean, I don't know what you've slipped in at bottom, do I?
Yeah, well, time's money. I didn't think you'd want to waste either. Everything's there.
I'm sure it is. Only I'd like to see for myself, if you don't mind.
All right. Have it your way. Well, take your pick. Which one do you want me to open?
All of them.
£2.11p, love, please.
That's it, £2. And I've got a little one in here somewhere. Let me...
Evening, Alf. Evening, Rini. Have a nice day.
Yes.
Yes, so have I. Just the odd rowdy customer, but then you get drunks and riff-raff in every pub, don't you?
Ah, here we are. I knew I had one somewhere. Thank you very much, love. See you.
Great, isn't it, having a corner shop? Hearing everything that goes on and not understanding a word of it.
Weatherfield Rainwear? Oh, is that the factory with the clock on? The one that's always...
That's always wrong, yeah. Anyway, I went down this dinner time, had a good look round, interview with the personnel manager. Well, not exactly an interview.
but what did they say?
They said yes, I've got the job.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Start Monday.
Oh, I am pleased, Deirdre, really I am. It'll get you out, meet new people.
And give you Tracy to yourself 8 hours a day. I know what you're thinking. Now, they asked me if I had any children. I said, don't worry. If Tracy were given the choice, I'm sure she'd rather spend the day with her Auntie Emily than with her mum.
Hello, love. Hello. Evening paper, please.
10 pence, please.
So. Hello. What's these then?
Them's new.
Yeah. Yes, I can see they are. Hey, go on, I think I'll have one of these as well.
It's £1 and 5 pence then, please.
Right. There we go.
Hello, Mr. Tilsley. Is Louise looking after you all right, then?
Yes, she is, love. Thanks very much. Cheerio. Ta-ra,
Bye.
love.
Oh, I thought I'd never get away. But you've been all right, have you, on your own? No problems?
I've had naught to do for most of the time.
Well, afternoons do tend to be a bit quieted about now that things start up. What are these?
Oh, man left them.
The man? What man?
Don't know what man. He said he was leaving them, so I signed a paper and he left them. He said he'd be back in a day or two to see how they were selling. Oh, he didn't have to think of aftershave, though.
Have you seen what these are?
What do you mean?
Well, they're pornographic.
Oh, yeah. I had a look at one of them.
Well, we don't sell this sort of thing in the cabin. I mean, we just don't. Oh, Louise, whatever were you doing letting him leave things like this?
I got the impression he always left them.
Well, I can assure you it does not. And you say you signed for them as well?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
He said sign here, so I did.
Oh, well, I suppose you couldn't have known. But... Well, whatever are we going to do?
Make him take them back.
Oh, that's easier said than done.
I thought you didn't stand for any liberties.
No, well...
Look, I'll tell him if you like. Don't worry me.
No, I'd better do it. Oh, I'd better get them off the counter. Don't know what our regular customers would think. I could never look them in the face again.
I've already sold 2 copies.
Oh, you haven't?
That chap who just left bought one of them.
What, Mr. Tilsley?
Yeah.
Oh, no, Louise, he couldn't have done.
Well, he did.
Well, he must have thought it was a do-it-yourself book or something, because, well, he's very keen on that sort of thing, is Mr. Tilsley. Well, I can't believe he'd want to buy one of these.
Good job I looked, weren't it?
Yeah. I'll find you some replacements for the ones I have to take out tomorrow, all right?
I'll tell you that when you've seen them.
Yeah, of course. Well, see, I'm fixed, don't you? I'm short of staff. No one I can rely on. So when I ask them to pack the stuff for you, what happens? I mean, I can't be everywhere, can I? Can't be standing over them. So they slip a few dodgy ones in at the bottom. Then they think they're doing me a favour.
You'll be glad I checked them for you then.
Yeah. Join me in a drink.
No, thanks.
Been at Aspinall's long, have you?
Long enough. 10 years.
Oh, doing what?
Oh, shop floor for 5, then supervisor, and since last month they made me up, senior inspector.
How'd you like to come here, work for me, eh?
It's a bit sudden.
I like the way you work. I'd rather have you on my side than the enemy's. Bit the same sort of job as you're doing now, you know, production control, supervising the staff, that sort of thing, you know.
Watching over Ivy's gang?
Some of the time, yeah.
I see. And what'd be in all this for me?
Quite a lot. Now, this being a smaller firm, you'll have some more say in how it's being run. No?
That wasn't what I meant.
Ah. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a £5 a week on top of what you're getting now.
Sounds worth thinking about.
Right, think about it. Then come back, we'll have a talk.
One thing.
What?
It just strikes me as a bit odd. Why don't you promote from your existing staff?
Well, I was going to, till you turned up.
And I mean, well, not that it worries me. But I mean, they're not going to be very pleased, are they? Ivy and them. They're not going to be very pleased when I suddenly appear waving a big stick.
Well, I must admit, there's one or two of them that you get a bit of aggro from, but nothing we couldn't handle between us.
You got any dirty old pound notes you don't want? No, that's what I was going to go to the bank. Hey, listen, 8:30, no paper. Nothing to keep the marmalade off my trousers.
I am sorry, Alf. It's that Billy Nuttall. He keeps getting late.
Oh, that's that little kid, isn't it, with perpetual dewdrop?
Yes, man never sends him out with a hanky.
No, I've just seen him up that back alley near Butcher's with a tab in his mouth.
Oh, reading Playboy, I don't doubt. Mind you, Alf, there's worse things than Playboy.
Get away.
Well, I mean, have you seen what they call the really hard stuff? Have you seen it?
Well, I was on the watch committee, you know.
Oh, you're not still on it?
Oh, no, not for years.
But you'd know all the ins and outs, like, wouldn't you? I mean, well, like what would happen to someone caught selling something a bit below the belt, like?
Well, they'd be in bother.
What, even if it were done in all innocence? I mean, even if somebody came and dumped them and they didn't quite realise?
Well, it depends how many they sold.
Well, to tell you the truth, it was Louise, my new assistant, you see. A salesman came in and he dumped these terrible books on her while I was out. And, well, I mean, before I got back, she said she'd sold 2 of them.
It's to be hoped nobody complains.
Well, I think they all knew what they were buying. I mean, well, certainly Mr. Tilsley did.
Burt bought one?
Well, so I believe. You see, I'd just gone out for an hour to the wholesale.
Yeah, well, he won't complain, will he? Mind you, if his wife finds out, she might.
All set for snapping time then, are we?
Snapping time? No, that's for mixing cement, look. No, I'm working on a building site today. I might even sit down to me sandwiches, could even get in a card game.
Yeah, of course you've been doing your own house up, haven't you?
Oh, it never stops, love, I tell you. A day on a building site's like having a rest.
Come on. Bert Tilsley, of all people, you won't beat it, would you?
Well, no, it's a bit of a reader, kid.
Oh, I know, but I didn't think he'd read mucky stuff.
No. Hey, but it's her, though. It's her, isn't it? She's sending him a bit funny.
What's all this, then?
Well, it's his fault for selling him in first place.
Do you know, things some people will do to make a bob a token? Give us a packet of peppermints.
But that too, really.
Yeah. Do you know he'll be having Hank Jansen's in his library next? I can just see it, Hank Jansen's for lens.
Come on, you'd have that, we'll get sacked.
Oh, yeah, come on. See you, sexy.
Hey, what's tickling everybody? Come on.
Yeah, come on, it's VAT today. We could do with a laugh.
Well, it's these magazines down at Cabin. They're a bit neat bold, aren't they? Hey, didn't you know?
Morning, Your Majesty. Setting on here.
Drop dead, Vera.
And get out me light.
Pooh, I don't know where you've gone this morning, but I stink. Oh, well, I should have known. It's aftershave, isn't it?
Well, you know, any time you want to use the office, just...
No, it's this new girl that you set on. You've not left the clock card.
Oh, no. I forgot. I should have left one in the rack, shouldn't I? I was here till gone 8 o'clock again last night. Look, just point her towards packing, will you, know?
Right.
Oh, and Ivy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ivy.
Oh, it's no bother.
As long as we can keep the system going till I get this supervisor thing sorted out.
Will that be soon?
Well, yeah. As a matter of fact, I made up my mind I was going to have a word with you about it. Hello, my boy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you rang. See you later. Huh? Well, any time today, see me, darling.
Right. I've made you out a clock card, so if you just do the business, and then I can take you down to packing.
Hey, did you clock that?
£1 to a pig pudding. She's got a supervisor's job.
Ooh, her head'll be that
Ooh,
big.
You're not kidding.
Now then, see, now press down like this. That's right, look. Now then, you have a try. That's like, ooh,
You both look very busy.
Tracy's making some tarts.
Oh, tarts for tea, eh? I wish I wasn't going out. But I had a look in my wardrobe and I thought, blimey, Deirdre, if you don't get some new clothes, you're going to be going to Weatherfield Rain wearing rags.
Well, they don't dress up there, do they?
Well, the machinists don't, but they do in the office.
Oh, yes, of course, the office.
You don't mind?
No, of course not.
Only I really need them for Monday. I mean, you know, with it being a fresh start, it gives you a bit of extra confidence looking nice.
Gives you that incentive to look smart, certainly.
You tend to get a bit sluggish hanging around the house all day, don't you? I mean, obviously, you don't, because you seem to set your own standards, but, well, I tend to get a bit drabbish. Oh, crimes, I'm going to have to fly if I'm going to get that bus. Now then, you be a good girl, sweetheart. And I'll see you about, 3 o'clock with something sensible, I hope. Ta-da.
Where did I put that bit of grease?
Touch of lard, you see, Tracy. Rub round the pins like that.
Mummy's going to work from now on, Tracy. It's you and me holding the home front, as they used to say in the war.
I thought I was wasting my time. I thought Alf Roberts was pulling my leg. Oh, honestly, Mavis, if every time a good-looking patter merchant walks into this shop and sells...
Mavis, Mr. Fairclough, it were me. This fella just made out all
Look,
sorts
just
of...
burn the whole flaming lot. Stick the whole lot in the bin.
But they've been signed for.
Only by a kid.
Yes, but they were sale or return, so, I mean, if we send them back, he'll either want these or he'll want his money refunded.
How much?
2 dozen, wholesale price 60p, 3, so just over £10.
All right, clever clogs. It can come out of your wage packet.
Can't stop me money.
Oh, can't I?
Me mum needs me money.
Oh, well, look, surely, as long as they're not out
Look, the
on
best thing we
sale.
can do is burn the whole flaming lot. It only needs one whisper, you know, one rumour, that's all. There's a clean-up campaign going on in this town. We could end up in court.
Well, then, if you're going to dock anybody, you'll have to dock me, because the shop is my responsibility.
If it comes out of my packet, my dad'll be down.
As if I haven't got enough on my plate without you two wet ends having a go
Oh,
at
look,
me.
that's not fair, Mr. Fairclough. I'll see this salesman when he comes
All right. Do what you will. Do what the hell you like. But do one thing, for heaven's sake. Get shot.
Shall we burn them? Pay him for these and say we don't want any more. Go halves. I know you'd rather see him, but...
Days a glimpse of
stocking was looked
at
as something shocking. Now heaven knows anything goes.
The world has gone mad today and good's bad today.
Carry on. I like it.
Oh, come in.
Hey, I wonder what she wants, Kate.
Doing some deal with Aspinall's over that gash quilt, and he's trying to
Hey,
get
she
shut
were
up.
born to pass straight,
But he's stringers, girl.
Anyway, it was for chipper, Kate.
Well, come on, if you're talking.
Oh, all right, you don't have to push me, dear.
Oh, don't panic, I've done him. Well, you've no right to do it.
No.
So you went swanning in, now let's get this right, to his nibs at Aspinall's, whoever that may be, and said, this geezer's offering him an extra 5 notes.
Well, I don't swan.
You put the arm on him. And he said, tell Baldwin to stick it, we give you an extra tenner.
Something like that. Bit more formal, perhaps.
Well, if it's more brush after lass, you know. No, seriously. If it's a bread, I can match him pound for pound.
No ceiling.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll give you 15 quid a week over your present figure. But I want results.
We'll have to see me executive.
Now, look, let's get this straight, shall we? Let's not play. I'm offering you £15 a week over the odds, and that's it on the money side. I'm not playing poker. You know, I make a bid, Aspinall's rise, you take the pot. Get me?
They did offer me 10.
Yeah, they probably offer you 20. But I know Aspinall's. I know what they can offer and you what they can't. Prospects, for one.
This promotion, up to a point.
And then what?
Let's say they have a fairly traditional management structure.
Come on, it's a family firm. You can go so far, then you've got to be one of the family.
Oh, I don't mind the sons. When some little dolly bird of a niece gets shoved up over my head.
But it's lunchtime. Let's clinch the deal over a noggin, shall we?
I'm tempted. But frankly, no. I'd rather have a wander round while it's quiet.
Oh, I see. Sort out, suss out the situation, like.
Let's say, assess the potential. Then I can give it a ponder. And having done that, I'll either ring or call in, round about finishing time.
Great. We'll have that drink then.
Is the drink that important?
Well, in some firms, it's a bed you're born in, isn't it, eh? I mean, how many bottles you can drink with the boss, how many dry martinis you can down with the managing director, do you know?
About 5.
Oh, 5 would see me hitting the deck.
I mean, I'll call you at 5.
Quarter mint humbugs, that's 35, 40, 10's 50, 50's a pound, 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
Champion.
Change for a fiver.
Aye. But now what I didn't give you a fiver.
It weren't 10, Mr. Tatlock.
No, it were 20.
Never.
Ah, 20 shillings. That used to be £1 before they started mucking money about.
Pound, are you sure?
If I'd kept my mouth shut, I'd have been well off.
I thought I got change given off by heart. Good job you're honest, else I'd be out of me ear.
I'll send out in future.
Oh, ciao, Dad. Afternoon, love. Oh, I see you moved that new land I left, eh?
Yeah, we moved him all right.
Ah, yes, I did so. Happen I should have a word with your boss about a regular order, eh?
She's having her lunch.
Oh, we'll take a second.
She's having it out.
Oh, a tooth or an appendix?
Her lunch.
Well, that's okay. I'll wait. Mind if I borrow a bit of your counter?
Look, I don't think you quite understand.
Listen, obviously, you're going to get complaints if you put them next to the kiddies' comics now, aren't you?
Oh, you're missing the point, Mr.
Most shops of your sort have a special rack for this kind of
Well,
material.
look, I'm sorry, but I have my instructions.
Now, I can supply the rack.
Oh, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you do a very nice rack.
Well, it's a good feature, you see. It gets in trade, and all I have to do is call once a week and keep it well stacked.
I don't doubt that you do, but I've been given strict instructions.
Now, just who owns the shop, Is it Mary Whitehouse?
No, it's Mr. Fairclough.
Well, do Mary Fairclough a big favour. Make her some bread. I mean, there's big discounts on this stuff, you know, if you keep it moving. And, well, let me put it this way, love. There's money in your penny, you know, eh?
Money in my... Oh, I wouldn't lower myself. And you ought to be ashamed. I mean, you look quite respectable, but you come in here and you dump these on a young girl.
Now, this type of material is perfectly acceptable in 90% of my outlets.
Yes, well, then we must be the other 10% because we don't want it. And even if we could, I wouldn't, because I think it's downright shocking. I bet you if the police knew
Now,
that...
hold on. I mean, if you're suggesting that this is out to do
I'm
with
not
the
suggesting anything of the kind. I just want you to take these dirty, filthy things off the premises.
Here, take them and scram.
Listen, monkey. We'll have a less of your lip. And as for you, miss, I take it is miss. I mean, you'd never get a fella going, not with your attitude, would you?
I am saying no more. I'm going to get in touch with your firm. I know we've signed for them, but we can make returns. Now, if you just give me your name.
Harold Robbins.
Very well, Mr. Robbins. I'll say good day to you. Look, I've got to have your name for the paperwork.
Take a description.
2 yards of greasy pump water, ugly, trousers at half mast, once with a limp and spits a lot.
Hello? Is that Willis and Beardmore?
When you get wound up.
Well, look, I want to report one of your reps. Well, no, I don't know his name, but he's on the tall side and he's going bald. And it could be called Harold. No, well, the point is, you see, is dumped 24 magazines on us called Teaser. It is called Teaser, isn't it?
Yeah, Teaser.
Yes, that's right. It's, no, there's no mistake. It's Teaser. Well, you don't handle it. Never heard of it. Yes, it's Miss Riley, the manageress of the cabin, Rosamond Street. Yes, it came in yesterday.
I mean, no disrespect, but... Well, I don't think you should have said that.
I knew as soon as I opened my big mouth.
I mean, the way things are.
I know, me and my big gob.
Did Emily say anything?
No, she's never even into it, cracked.
I bet you started to thinking, though.
Yeah, well, it wasn't only me, you see. It was Alf and Reenie as well. They were into it.
Well, that's the way they are, you know, making remarks. How were they hinting?
Well, you see, Emily mentioned that Deirdre might get this job. Then Reenie says, who's looking after Tracy? And Emily says, I am.
There you are, you see, digging.
Yeah, and then, you see, Reenie says, full time.
See what I mean?
Yeah, and then Alf chips in.
Well, it does.
Yeah, I know. And then, you see, Emma just looked at me and I looked at her and I opened my size 10 mouth, didn't I? Oh, me and my big gob.
Oh, well.
You're a right Job's comforter, you are. Right, I'll see you back at the Ritz.
Right.
Bye, Bet.
Got to admire Elsie, haven't you? She never holds a grudge.
As long as you'd hold on to a red-hot poker.
If only I'd have known she were that dead nuts on Dan Johnson.
Yeah. Least said, soonest mended, love.
You speak like this, Ben, please, love.
Hey, clock the professor.
What, Mrs. got a book?
Taste Tuesday.
What? Come again? Well, you saw him improvements, innit?
I bet he's got his Mucky comics in there. Mucky comics? Listen, he reads real books, does my bird.
I bet he don't let us look inside.
It's night shift that does it. Let's have a look, Bert.
Yeah, come on, let's have a look in there.
Drop off, Vera.
Look, he looks picture of Gills.
If you're saying he reads Mucky comics,
Come
now...
off it, he's stripping us off with his eyes.
Oh, sure, Bert.
Why should I?
He's ashamed of himself. Well, show me then.
No, sure.
Why not?
Because you wouldn't understand, love.
Give me that, you daft... Shut off water supply and open the tap of valve full in. Loose neck sag and a lead with a spanner.
Hiya. Think it suits me with a nice wide belt and my boots. Yeah, Tracy, what do you think of Mum's new gear?
Better take a look at the tops.
She behaved herself today, then?
Well, to be honest, she's been a bit of a handful.
A wet young lady.
Probably the feeling of being penned in.
What, you feel penned in?
Not so much penned in as well, trapped.
Trapped?
Well, in a sense, yes. I mean, I wanted to take a job sometime.
Well, you never mentioned a job. If I'd known you were...
I did say.
You never said.
But whether or not, it's a bit much to assume that I'm quite happy, that I don't get tired of the same four walls all day, every day.
Oh, I'm sorry. I suppose I've been a bit thick. I suppose I have taken you a bit for granted.
Probably I didn't say, but still.
Yeah, it's all right. You're coming over loud and clear now.
Well, it began as a small doubt, a tiny cloud, but as the days gone by...
No, I'll just have to cancel the job.
Oh, is there no other way?
Well, private nursery, it costs 20 odd quid a week.
I wish I'd never spoken.
No, you were right, Emily. Anyway, I was getting a bit full of myself. What, brilliant typist, high-powered secretarial career. I mean, let's face it, Weatherfield rainwear.
Can I smell burn?
Bags me one while they're still hot.
Hey, if she ain't been set honkered, I'll go to our house.
She's been wandering round all dinner, Flags little, madam, she looks.
Hey, do you think it's just that we're taking a fancy, like, you know?
There are. We're quizzing Joe ain't cutting her part-timers among her.
Yeah, well, I can see how she'd get confused. Who's cracking whip now?
Ladies, can I have a little bit of hush for a moment, please? I've got something I want to tell you. Now, this is Miss Stringer, Pauline. As from next week, she'll be your new supervisor. OK, eyes down, look in. I'll take you to packing now.
You'd have lost all your friends. From what I've seen of her character, I think she'll suit us right down to ground.
Ah, then I'm sure there was something else. Sausages, half a lot, tin of peas, gravy browning. No, I can't think.
Mind on your new job, I suppose.
Ah, new job is up the Swanee.
Well, not being nosy.
Emily doesn't want to play nursemaid. I still think there was something else. No. See ya. No.
Do you know that Southie Tanner put in a two-penny thin?
Oh, it happened.
Mind you, if Deirdre know what was said, well, we'd be to blame, wouldn't we? Shop gossip and all that.
You can't win, love.
Little Belle up there rang and said salt flakes.
Washing tomorrow, then?
Yeah, what excitement, eh? Will they come out whiter this week?
Not like a proper job, is it?
Not a patch. Still, I've got some typing to do for Len this afternoon. That should be a thrill. His spelling's a scream.
Hey, I don't know why you don't take that up, you know. I mean, there must be a lot of little firms like Len's about.
Yeah, it's getting the contacts, though, Alf.
Well, I can put the word in for you. Can't I? Town Hall, Chamber of Trade, Conservative Club.
Well, if you would.
Of course.
Hey, that might just be a brilliant idea. Ta-da.
Ta-da, love.
There we are, toddling around the town hall. A little word here and a little word there, and all you want is a nice big smile.
Oh, give up, Greenie. Yes, Albert, what can we do for you? Half a dozen cough drops or half an hour's grumbling?
Ruminate, you go into Legion these days, you can't get a game. Every table's occupied. Strapping lads that haven't done a tap since they left school. Can't even play the game. You say how you get a lot of old buck. When I went in just now, some trollop shouted out, "Look out, here comes Kaiser Bill."
We sold 2 copies. How much were they?
£1, 5p each.
So there you are. There's a fiver for
Keep
you.
your fiver.
Oh, no. Take it. Take your earnings. I mean, you're bound to be short of a few crispies selling filth like that.
No, I didn't come here for your measly fiver, mate.
Oh, really? What did he come here for, then? To lay your weight on with a couple of little girls like that?
Look, I've been fired, and the bullet came from this shop. So I'm here to thank that Miss Bo Peepy for getting me the sack.
Well, I never set out to do that.
Now, look, mate, you leave out of this, eh? If you've got the push, it's because you've been on the fiddle.
Look, if I've got the push, mate, it's because of her big gob.
You have been ripping off your own fella, mate. You've been getting that stuff from some dodgy firm.
Ah, well, she's not heard the last. I shall take steps.
Come on your way.
I shall see my solicitor.
Give him my love.
No, just a minute. Look, don't be wet, mate. No. Make a bomb. Go on, look, be your age. Get your hands off the gear and I'll get it clean up, Brett.
Wish our dog up in here. Takes bites out the rentman, our dog.
Here we are, done the rounds. Oh, good. Well, you sit down and I'll get the toast on. Is it poached eggs? It's poached eggs.
Oh, well, it's better than kippers, I suppose.
There's nothing like a nice poached egg on toast.
Smashing?
You didn't do anything drastic. I mean, after my little outburst.
Well, I shall have to ring Weatherfield Rainwear.
I wish you wouldn't.
No, Emily, you were entitled. Anyway, I've had a better idea.
Oh?
Just not sure how you'll react to it.
Now I'm being branded as difficult.
No, it was something Alf said, actually, and doing a quick feasibility study while buying the onions, I decided it might work. The only snag is, it would mean using this room.
Go on.
Well, the idea is to set up a sort of a secretarial agency.
I see.
Alf says he'll help out with contacts at the town hall and so on, but it would mean using your living room as my office.
Not your office so much as our office. I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't share. I've done bookkeeping and I can type with 2 fingers.
That's great, it might work. Bishop and Langton. What do you say, Tracy? Should we give it a go?
Yes.
Ivy, can I have a word with you? It wouldn't have worked, love. You know that.
Maybe not, but I'd arrange to crack at it.
What, with all the money you can earn on that machine?
Oh, you do a nice brand of flannel, you.
Yeah, but would the girls have accepted you, eh? Now, come on, be straight.
Well, they've accepted her, haven't they? They're tickled to death.
Because they can see that she's an asset.
She's a stringer.
Well, so what?
Well, for starters, her father's next door to being a communist.
Darling, if we were all like our fathers, then...
And for seconds, where the stringers are concerned, the apples never fall far from the tree.
Here she is. The lady who'll solve our Easter egg problem. She'll take 2 dozen at least.
If it were hot cross sponge, you'd be talking.
Listen, I'll be calling for pound cakes, kid. 2 salads. Hey, what time do you make it?
By my quotes computerised ever wrong...
8:20.
Whatever happened to grandfather clocks?
Oh, yeah, I could have had another 10 minutes, kid. Do you know how I feel, Jacob, me?
Hey, up!
Oh, well, Dogden laid that. She sits on that chair and clucks away.
You know, it upsets me being so early, you know. I feel a right creep me if I'm clocking in before 8:30. You feel a fool to yourself, don't you? Mind you, now this new woman's running things.
I thought Ivy Tilsley were running things.
No, hey, that were only a rumour.
Who is this new woman, anyway?
Her name's Stringer.
Oh, what's she like? Is she all for the management, I bet?
Is she heckers like him? She's a right little cracker, her. She couldn't be any better for us downtrodden wage slaves if she was Bessie Braddock herself, I'll tell you.
Oh, what's Baldwin doing hiding a girl like that?
Oh, he's that flaming mad that he don't know what he's doing.
2 cheese now, love, about 1 o'clock. Oi, Princess Grace is 25 past, you know.
Look at the typhoon, kid. Hey, why don't you order new girl a pound cake? Keep well in life, you know. See you, love.
Morning, boss. Just the fella I want to see. Get your coat off, mate. And give us a hand sorting this lot out.
Oh, I'm not here today. I'm in Liverpool.
What do you mean you're not here? There's a fiver in it for you.
Well, I've got 30 coming anyway from Belshaw's for them drains.
5 crispy ones in your fist.
No, you're all right. I'll make do with the 30. I want to go to Liverpool anyway, see a few old mates, you know.
It's a doddle. There's only these 5 rads here. They're not in bad nick. They just want painting up, that's all.
Oh, I don't think my stomach could stand painting.
And then sort all the good stuff out of here, will you? You know, elbows, bends, things like that, and salvage them.
I feel like diving for pearls in the cut looking for good stuff among this
You what? I paid a big hammer merchant 10 quid for that lot. A touch of the old wire brush, lick of paint, they won't know it from you.
Pinnock, you'll be buying old tea bags next.
Oh, look, Eddie, just give us a hand sorting that lot out, will you? I've got a load of paperwork in there that won't wait. And I promised Rita I'd start on the central heating today, you know.
Does she know it's going to be a botch job?
There's nothing botchy about it, mate. You won't know it from new once it's in. Look, 5 in your hand, you'll be finished at 3 o'clock. And I tell you what, I'll give you 10 for every day you spend up at the house with me.
Oh, all right then. But I'll have to go and get changed. Hey, and I want gallons of tea, because that stuff don't have to get on my sinuses.
Like you're beginning to get on mine?
Hey, and I want that 30 from Belshaw's.
Hello, Belshaw's. Fairclough here. Hello, Horace. You know that job we did for you? Yeah, the drains, yeah. Did he get the bill?
Walk past the rack there. Got a clock card inside. I'm not getting rid of them, eh? It's going the same way as the filing system did yesterday, is it?
Now, come on. The filing system's been slightly amended.
The filing system, apart from not being able to find anything, I must admit, has improved. When it comes to scrapping the clock card, well...
I'm going to stand there with a whip.
Now, listen, don't overdo it. You've been working very well up to now. But when it comes to this, I have to say, slacken off on the new broom routine, all right?
You mean you don't do a timekeeping check as a matter of course?
Well, I must admit, things have been slipping a bit lately.
My predecessor, when she wasn't doing her toenails, I found this in the stock cards. Mrs. Tanner never did a timekeeping assessment.
Mrs. Tanner found it very difficult to get here on time herself.
But you never bothered.
Well, I went out there and raised hell a couple of times.
Give them a bit of what they call sacking talk.
Sacking talk's necessary sometimes, don't you agree? Do you think there is a couple out there I could get rid of?
There is spare capacity.
Oh, who's the favourite?
We can't go on 1 week.
Yeah, I know, but if there were 1 or 2 of them slacking, you wouldn't protect them, would you?
I'd use proper procedure. I'd give them a verbal warning, then a written warning, and if things didn't improve...
Then you tell me, and I'll give them the shot.
Well, after a word with the steward.
You get the unions then?
Well, these things have to be watertight. Unless you like facing tribunals, getting branded.
I already am branded, darling. Ruthless. Can't you see the pound signs in my eyes?
Fair enough. But I still believe in consultation.
Now, hang on a minute, Paul, just a second. Your area of responsibility is much wider than Mrs. Tanner's. You're looking after the place when I'm not here. And to some extent, even when I am here. I want to know what makes you tick. So set up a regular working lunch, will you?
Sure. But I'll need notice. I mean, I do tend to tuck myself away in some corner with a cheese sarnie and a good book.
It's a bear climbing up a tree. You see, there's the tree, and there's his paws. See, it's good, isn't it?
Hey, don't stop him, for heaven's sake. It'll take an hour to get him back to work.
Have you gone in for scrap metal or something?
No, it's just a few odds and bobs we've got that might come in handy, you know.
I mean, you wouldn't pass this lot off as new to some unsuspecting client, would you?
Oh, we wouldn't do that, would we, boss? No, this is strictly trade, this.
Yeah, mind your clothes on that wet paint there, love. What's up any road?
No, I've done all the housework. Because you never turned up to start, did you?
Hey, you can get your overalls and give me a hand. You can be my apprentice.
Hey, do you fancy doing some paperwork? How are you fixed on the typewriter?
You may not have noticed, Fergal, but I'm all togged up.
Well, if it's a lift you want, I would, but I'm up to my eyes in it.
Well, far be it from me to stop progress.
Do you want to quit or two?
Well, I've got my checkbook, but I'm short for bus and things like that, you
Come
know.
in the office, then.
Shall I see you in the Rovers? About 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't go mad.
I won't. Ah.
If he had a little cap, I'd drop tuppence in it.
Lost him in the war, missus. Catholic camp. Got him chopped off for licking Eccles cakes.
Daft.
Ta-ra. Ta-ra, love. Hey, did you have any luck with both yours when you rang them?
No, I flipping didn't.
Well, couldn't you pay me out of what you've got?
Out of what I've got. I've hardly got enough for a bevy at dinner.
Hey, it's nice, isn't it? Instead of rushing about like we normally do.
What, eating a sarnies and dreaming of Benidorm?
But it's a big saving, isn't it? I mean, when you think how much we could spend.
You're telling me, because you can get rid of a fortune in that chipper, you know.
Yeah, not to mention Rovers.
What price does she charge us? Hey, we shall have to save us money, you know, if we're going to Spain.
Hey, I was actually surprised at our Jack, though, you know. I said, hey, how do you fancy a foursome, you know, for the summer like? And he said, well, it didn't knock me back. Mind you, you're a bit suspicious, kid. Mind you, every reading news at World at time. I said, you can knock that out. I said, it's an holiday with Ivy and Bert, you know, in Spain. I said, it's not a wife-swapping job.
I hope you told him that once we book, kid, there's no backing out.
Oh, Hey, Pauline sat over there, kid, reading a book. Do you think we should ask her to...
Isn't it she wants to come? I reckon she will.
She's probably studying something, you know.
How to squeeze bosses, I'll bet.
More like Baldwin learning how to squeeze her.
Anyone see Miss Stringer?
Yes, she's...
I think she's gone for a day, Mr. Baldwin, you know.
Oh, did she say where?
No, she didn't, but this bloke came in for it.
What bloke?
Comrade, son, I don't know what we called him.
Oh, yeah, did he say his name was Scargill?
No, but hey, he walked in here and he said, nationalise everything, nationalise everything.
Yeah, well, all right, just watch the crumbs, will you? I don't want mice in the machine.
Are you trying to tell us that we can't have us bagging in
I'm
here?
just saying, watch the crumbs.
Well, provide us with a rest room, then.
Suddenly, everyone's having picnics in here.
He's an ignorant pig, him, isn't he? I mean, he does you down like he's done me, and then... I'll tell you what, I am going to use that Pauline Stringer while she's here. Because as far as I'm concerned, we need somebody in that office to help us to get a grips with things.
Hey, Eddie, have you seen Len?
He's up at your house.
Hey, are you going to stop and have a drink with me, gorgeous?
No, thanks. Better get back, see what he's doing.
Did you get anything nice?
Oh, Betty, the spring stuff's fabulous this year. I've got a little knockout to do you.
Wait,
See you later.
Hey, does she look well since her and Len got themselves settled?
Aye, spending his losses, eh?
Losses? Fair Clough. I wish I were a penny behind him.
Yeah, he won't part with it, though, will he?
Ah, well, you don't get rich that way, love.
Even that sense of eating of his is going to be second-hand, you know.
Well, Rita said as that was all going to be new.
You're joking. The only thing new about that sense of eating is going to be the steam.
Hello, love. What can I get for you?
Half a bitter, please.
Is the centre as posh inside as it is outside?
Oh, it won't look too bad when it's decorated.
Has it been passed? I mean, has Mrs. Sharples pronounced?
Well, I suppose we'll be getting her comments next week when she's back and when it's finished. But until then, she's safely tucked away in St. Anne's, thank the Lord.
Been like holiday for you.
What? You should have gone through the performance I had trying to find her a bed.
Did you hear what Mrs. Walker said yesterday about the centre? Should be pulled down and trees should be planted. Mind you, I mean, she thinks that everywhere Barkendall Mill should be pulled down in favour of trees.
Yeah, well, ask her how many pints she could sell to your average squirrel.
Hello, Mrs. Sharples. How do you like your improvements?
I'd like him a lot better if I could get in.
Well, you've got a new door.
Everything's new, bar my key.
Oh, I used to be a dab hand with a hairpin at one time.
No, but a bit of a mither.
Have you not?
Now, what's the use of me knocking? This is my home, and I'm standing here on the street like Pippi.
Well, the painters are in. I think I saw them this morning.
The painters? Working? Do you mean they're not finished?
Well, I don't think so, no.
I shall have to see Alf Roberts about this.
I've seen some muck-ups in my time, Alf Roberts.
It's not to do with me.
£1 did you say, love?
Yes. I sent a postcard to Albert Athlet saying I was coming home. And I mean home, such as it is. I didn't mean I was going to sleep in the street.
Look, is this going to be a long do or what?
Well, surely Ken has got a key.
Now, what good's a key?
Well, you could get in.
Get in and catch fainter's colic.
Well, you ought to ask Ken.
Oh, I make now for traipsing round asking folk.
Look, can I get served, or shall we both go round and duff him up?
It's now to laugh at.
Not to do with me. Social Services Department. Best back, love.
Yes.
How was town?
Oh, all right. Had a very nice walk round, bought myself a new outfit, had a coffee, and a fella winked at me in Woolworth.
Oh, freedom.
Okay.
Albert?
What are you doing here?
I'm poking the fire.
Well, leave the flaming thing alone.
He wants some coal on.
Look, coal costs money. You have the blooming chimney on fire. What are you after anyway?
Me, I'm after lodgings.
Last firm I was at, you know, Aspinall's, they'd no proper wage structure.
Well, they had to pay good money.
Well, it varied, didn't it? I mean, you'd have a machinist sat here getting 10p an hour over the odds and some poor kid at the end of the row struggling along on the basic.
Hey, that's not on, is it? No, creates bother, that.
Dead right. As soon as I was made up, I had it stopped.
Did they all have to go back on basic?
Could I have faced me old fella? I had top rate applied.
What, across board?
No danger.
Hey, shove up, yo. Sit yourself down there, Flower.
Well, I don't want to get too settled.
You're all right. We get a whistle-front girl at end machine if his nibs comes on catch.
Hey, never mind his nib. She's entitled, isn't she, same as us? Hey, let him sell and I'll be in that office.
You shop steward, are you?
That's right.
There's only her says so.
I was steward at 17. I had Aspinall's shell-shocked. It were a big turning point in my life when they said, look, come on, change sides.
Hey, well, you'll take the money, love. Nobody blames you.
Mind you, at Aspinall's it were a big switch. The main thing was they wouldn't wear sloppy work, you see. Now, I'd pressured them on rates. Fair enough, I had to be hard when it came to quality control.
Yeah.
I mean, for instance, if I'd have passed finishing like that, I'd have been for the job.
Well, it's where stuff's cut, isn't it? Hey, I put zips in, kid. My God, there must have been some size. Oh, there must have.
Miss Stringer, have you got a minute?
Hey, do you think we've got her into trouble? She's all right. If she wants backing, you know, serious.
She's not going to reign long.
Sure, it's okay to be on good terms. I make it a policy. It's knowing where to draw the line, isn't it? It's one thing in the boozer and another out there. Didn't take you on to be Miss Popularity.
You took me on to run things. So tell me something. Am I supposed to pass that?
Yeah, that's okay, yeah.
Fair enough. I'll keep it then, as a sort of standard. Anything else?
No.
Are you sure there's no more in there you can salvage?
No, I've finished that job, boss.
What do you call that? There's a flaming good tea-piece there.
You know, you should be driving off the pier head like the Gannets.
You haven't wasted paint on the backs, have you?
I haven't wasted any paint at all. I even put the zips back on the tin.
What's that?
Oh, that's me logo. You know, like on the docks, you know, they have like a wine glass to show you which way up it goes. Well, that's to show you which way the backs are. Only the backs are very like the fronts, you see.
You don't have to paint the backs, you crate egg. Come here. I won't ask you to sign for it.
£5? What about Belshaw's?
Look, I've been on to Belshaw's. There's nothing doing, is there?
Well, it's no good to me grafting if I'm getting nothing for it, is it?
I've done everything I can. I've been on the blower, I've written to them. Was I in the boozer at dinner time? No, I was in here, wasn't I?
Well, what about going round face to face, show them a bit of the old knuckle, you know?
Hi. Hey, I've just seen your Rita. Shouldn't you be at home putting pipes in?
Oh, well. Have you seen a sack anywhere, Eddie? I've got a sack to put those in.
Listen, before you rush off, there's them accounts you wanted and that council estimate. So if there's any more stuff you want doing...
No, well, there's no big at the moment. I tell you what you can do, though. You can do a note for Eddie.
A note? My God, I'll crack under the pressure.
Yeah, find Belshaw's account, will you? Do him a demand note. Pay bearer on demand. You feel like being your own boss, do you? All right, if you think going round there will do any good, get round there, then. There's your secretary. It's on the house. I'll leave you to it.
Ah, right. I'll do this one for free, sort of our introductory offer, but any future correspondence will be charged at the usual rate. When you're ready, Mr. Yates.
Oh, yeah. Right. Messrs. Belshore and Company. TSA. No, hang about. TSA or Scrooge?
Why didn't you show me this, Uncle Albert?
We didn't have it come this morning.
It was posted 3 days since.
Look, I was in the house when the post came.
Oh, well, it might have been yesterday. Any road, you keep bobbing in and out. If I say out, you snap me head off.
Yeah, but, I mean, you must have known it was fairly important.
I'll tell that one next week.
Tell you, he's always a week behind other folk.
Any road, it's been at sideboard, dear. Of course, you wouldn't see it. Every time you come in, you've got your nose in some report or other.
OK, it's unfortunate, but it is our fault. So the least we can do is put Mrs. Sharples up for a night or two.
Oh, she won't clean sheets. She won't like our sheets.
I shall need clean sheets and all, and what's more, I want them married as well.
Right, well, there's some in the big drawer in my room.
Yes, well, if I find that scuttle and get that fire stoked up properly.
Right. I should have that run like a Roman furnace.
Well, it's no good moaning about it now, is it? I mean, why didn't you show me this?
Oh, my nose has got the sleep-hot sofa.
Well, I'll toss you for it.
Oh, don't bother. It's all right by me if you want it.
See Elsie Tanner that worked here before you? She couldn't talk to the boss. I mean, she'd crack a gag with him and he'd try his hand, but when it come to a dialogue, she was thick as two planks.
I gather.
I mean, you go to her and say, the girls are unhappy, and she makes some dirty crap about the love life. I think she thought that were all big got on the mind.
Are the girls unhappy?
Well, not stressing it too much, but there is unrest. Muttering, you know, no pipe music, safety clothing not provided, shoes, overalls, that sort of thing. Oh, and no restroom now, that is a big mole. Hey, and one wash basin, for heaven's sake.
Stirring it up, is she? My favourite shop steward.
Night, Miss Baldwin.
Night, Ivy. Not coming to any sort of agreement or anything like that with her, are you?
I was listening.
Oh, she's a good worker. Bit on the bolshy side, you know, which has to be watched. Sometimes knocked on the head, but never, repeat, never encouraged.
My job to listen.
Exactly. But not to support. There'll be no working-class solidarity at your level.
I appreciate that. Matter of fact, I find working-class solidarity a bit of a trap.
Do you mean that?
Why shouldn't I?
Just a couple of things I'd heard about you, that's all. You know, your father, for instance.
Yeah, my dad's a Bolshevik old beggar. But this isn't Russia. And what does being a Bolshevik get you in this country? Pipe music, safety clothing, restrooms.
That what she was on about,
They
Ivy?
were mentioned. She is the official shop steward. Hello? Garment Workers Union. Joe Chalmers, please. The area organiser. I used to be one of his stewards myself. Now, if she is going to start pressurising, there's one or two things we should check.
I can't think what's happened to Fred. No, it's more than an hour since he went.
Went where?
Gents want it. I'll tell you what, I'll nip and see where he is. He might just have got stuck.
I mean, it's not more than 5 minutes walk away at the most. No, Jubilee Terrace, or it's not but a cockstride.
Mind you, from what I know of that woman... What woman? Well, it's this woman that comes in here when she wants to down a few drinks without her neighbours finding out. Anyway, I mean, she was in here last night. 3 double vodkas she had, and then she dashed off home, leaving a purse on the bar. Oh, the 20 quid in it. And she sent Fred round. Yeah.
Well, he'll be halfway to Blackpool by now, won't he, Fred? What, 20 quid in his hand?
Might be getting his rewards.
Hey, Jubilee Terrace, hang on a minute. Hey, Len, Jubilee Terrace, it's near the Fine Horse, that, isn't it?
What? You pussy.
Give over. Listen, I bet Fred hasn't passed it. It gets very lively in there nowadays, I've heard.
And they got a barber shop quartet in there, I believe.
True. All them blokes from that cafe go there every night. Chuck the money over the bar, they do.
Yes, well, blows from the cafe could prove a very unmixed blessing. Not just one of his own, Mr. Johnson, for instance, but a clutch of lorry drivers and the like.
A clutch of lorry drivers, eh? That's a good one, that, isn't it? You know what I mean? Clutch, bum.
Oh, yeah, just shoot him like a gang out of the
On the village green, come to me, all your dreams of love it. No.
And where have you been since 7 o'clock?
Oh, she weren't there, Mrs. Walker, so I had to wait. I've loved you as I love you.
There's a good do down the Flying Horse, Fred.
Oh, rubbish, mate, rubbish. There's 4 fellas there doing a barber shop routine. No idea. If it came to a contest, I could get 4 off the street.
Oh, Ivy, can I have a word with you?
We couldn't get 4 here. What were you thinking, anyway?
You've been found out, do you know that?
Found out?
Yeah, all these strokes you've been pulling over the years, you know, whistle in one hand, shop steward hat on.
So I'll get you.
Not official, is it? You are not on the union books as a steward.
What's told you that?
My biggest mistake, Pauline Stringham.
Well, it makes no odds, does it, as long as girls back me?
Ah, but the girls only back you because they think you're official.
Well, I'll get made official.
Before you get made official, darling, there has to be an election.
The build-up to the factory shop steward's election begins in tomorrow's programme at 6:30, while in a few moments on Granada Plus, Loftus makes a serious error of judgment in Doctor in Charge.